Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition D&D campaign. This is Courts of Everest, our second campaign in a planned 10-campaign set. I am Joe Treff, your Dungeon Master. This evening in Mo's, just casual little 10-campaign set. And joining me are my friends, Matt, Hannah, Kara, and Alana. Tina is not with us this evening, but will be rejoining us hopefully next week.
I'm in my papoose today.
You do have a little papoose situation going on. We're all dressed up this evening because it is Kara's birthday. We are celebrating Kara's birthday. Happy birthday, Kara. We're happy that you joined us. Before we play some D&D, a couple of announcements. First of all, we played Mosaic Team 5, our Starfinder campaign last night. There will be an additional Mosaic Team 5 session this week. It'll actually be on Monday at 4 p.m. It is the very final stream for Third Party Con. It's in canon, set between sessions 36 and 37, right after the Driftmas Eve special. I cannot say those words. But that is really cool. Please check that out and support all of the third-party
Cons.
Yeah, all the third-party conventions, but also the various third-party Paizo producers. We have a YouTube where you can find all of the old sessions as well as the entirety of our old campaign, as well as Sea of Ice, the campaign that Kara ran, as well as about 15 one-shots that are all tucked into the various canons of our games. We have a Instagram, we have a website, alberonrpg.com and at alberonrpg for all the different social medias. And then finally, we have Sirenscape, which is a digital sound system that you could use to make all kinds of music. Huh?
I was trying to figure out who. I'm
so
sorry, too.
No worries. This is a digital tool set that you can use to play music and add sound effects to your game. Right now we're playing what I have labeled as 8-bit happy music. I believe this is called Apothecary Song. But you could also do things like a Wilhelm scream. You could do things like a cheering crowd. You could do things, yeah, pretty sweet. All kinds of things like that. Sirens.
People rejoiced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I can get us into our recap. You okay?
Gotta do some stuff to make Hannah laugh.
Gotcha, that's fair.
So unfair how easy it is.
I know. I watch it sometimes when I'm rewatching the stream. Yeah. I see Matt will just go. He'll do something. He'll just go. Adventures, last that we played. You traveled down a tower that housed a series of stairs that led you to the lower levels of the kind of sea level of Everest. You bent eastward in your path, away from the well-traveled roads, and dipped again south into the Heliodor Wood. You traveled through this place with you, Minka, avoiding many of these gemstones, although once elements of your party fell asleep, you did make the decision to touch the sort of diamond-looking grapes that ended up being the home to various recluse spiders that you then showered upon your party. But with that aside, a relatively successful journey. You traveled until you located the Grung camp from higher ground, and then rested to allow several of your party who had more eventful evenings to gain some rest and avoid exhaustion. After this rest, or during this rest actually, Minka and Ori, the two of you kept watch, deciding that the two people to place in charge of your safety would be the one person who immediately started doing drugs as soon as they woke up, and Minka, who is fascinated with stones in this stone-filled wood.
Can't get a hangover if you're never sober.
Things went about as well as you would imagine. You allowed a panther to sneak up on you. However, luckily, this was a young panther cub, seemingly separated from its parents. Taking this creature, you went the rest of the way to the Grung camp. Having already spotted it from above, you had a good sense for the layout, and though you had plenty of time to come up with a decent plan, instead, you ran the Ori Gambit, which, for people who have not watched before, is Ori gets on a horse and playing a flute rides it into a camp of hostile creatures.
In our defense, it was not the plan.
Eventually, we just gave up and let him do it.
Yeah. That's enabling.
I mean, it worked out. 'Cause none of us died.
And with that low bar of success, you did manage to defeat the Grung, who attacked you very promptly as you rode into this camp. And when they told you to drop your weapon, you immediately went to reach for something else.
I couldn't. They're speaking Grung. I don't speak Grung.
Either way, you managed to defeat these Grung. Alina, with you in particular, brutalizing a number of them, completely vaporizing them with Eldritch Blast. Now, with one of them left, this green Grung, who I can't remember what one of you had kind of in your grasp, two others having like run off and into the woodline, that is where we're going to begin this evening. Give me one moment.
I can see it in some countries. Making myself laugh now.
You're what?
Good for you. Making myself laugh now because then I was picturing Gordon Ramsay yelling at your character. Being like, "You overdid the frog legs!"
Oh,
Fucking
You're like, why
donkey!
am I so short? 'Cause I got my little cushion.
so, for all of you, you now, with the battle having passed, still having elements of that adrenaline running through you, you are within this Grung camp. There's a crackling fire that's beginning to die down a little bit that the Grung had been gathered around. Off and to the right, there is this tower that is a little bit ramshackle in its build, but the Grung had been keeping watch from it. There are two cabins, sort of, that are built from stone, more permanent structures than like a wandering camp. You had seen this more elaborately dressed red Grung run out of one, and that door is still open. And then the other, more square in nature. There's some ruins that are overgrown by moss, and you can see there's a large toad that is kind of on the outside. And I would say, Alina, you can see like a little bit of wings sticking out from your familiar. What would you all like to do?
So, my last note is that I ended in mud by the house.
Yes. So, as part of this Grung battle, for those of you who found yourselves falling prey to the Grung poison, there were a variety of effects. One of those, most of those, were this uncontrollable urge to submerge yourself into mud to avoid drying out. Clip that. So, yeah, that you are in the mud by the fire. I believe Billy is as well. The two of you, I believe, in not the best shape. However, Minka, you did provide some healing.
I'm pretty good now, actually.
I would imagine, Alina, it's you that has this Grung.
Yeah.
I think we tied him up.
Yeah.
If we didn't, we
Oh, yeah, with
now.
various bits of rope. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That really abused rope.
And once he's tied up, the first thing I do is look around the camp for a better rope.
Okay, make a perception check. Actually, make an investigation check.
Investigation. 15.
Okay. So you tie this Grung up. You kind of like place him down roughly against a tree, and he just kind of whoo, and just he's badly hurt. You can see underneath this amphibious skin, the poison is running out and kind of like mixing with the blood in this like really unpleasant way, and it clots. But you just leave him there in the grass.
Does it seem like the poison is doing anything to the rope?
No. Very pointedly. And I would say, without even a roll, you saw Minka just kind of handling poison very similar to this in a very haphazard way. It didn't dissolve the glass. It didn't do anything like that. So you'd imagine pretty inert. But going around, you watch as Alina kind of trots off looking for some rope. Is anybody else doing anything?
Yes. Minka's gonna go see if she can find the stone
Okay.
that the Grung threw in his death throes after being annihilated.
Make an investigation check.
Billy's gonna get up. That really sucked. And it's just gonna like kind of like still dirty, start like picking around the camp looking for anything interesting.
Okay. Make an investigation check as well. 7.
7.
You go to find this stone. Whoa, sparkles everywhere. And you think for a second you found like this mica deposit of like all these little flecks, and you go over and it's just broken glass. You don't cut yourself, but you don't quite find anything. That takes a little bit of the charge out.
16.
16, okay. So Alina, as you look around for some rope, without too much trouble, you're able to find sort of so you go into like the first cabin, this kind of squat square cabin, and it's just bunk bed after bunk bed, maybe like 6 of them. This is like a communal little like sleeping area for these grung. The beds at one point designed for humans, and so they're like straw mattresses, but over time they've kind of become encrusted with like mud and grung slime, and so they're almost like they've become beanbags in the way that they've like formed. It's unpleasant in there. However, one thing that you do find often to the right side, draped over what was probably a chair at one point, there is 60 feet of rope.
What kind of rope?
Hempen rope.
Cool. Took that.
Billy, with the 16, you watch as Alina gets this rope, and kind of peering in. That is a foul sort of sight, and so you're not going to go in there. You look around, and picking across some of these bodies, you find 2 pieces of silver, 12 pieces of gold, and 12 pieces of copper. Little bits in each of their pockets. What are you doing, Ori?
After wallowing for a bit in the mud,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up, and then seeing the chief looking one that came out of the hut, I'm going to see if I can find anything within the hut that would indicate if they're doing anything besides just like, yeah, they were just selling poison to whoever came by looking for poison, because presumably the red poison sediment that we found at the scene of the crime is related to the here.
That was a lot of words. Are you trying to discern like the physical nature of this poison, or are you trying to get a sense for like what they're doing here?
Yeah, I'm getting a sense of what they're doing here by investigating the non-investigated hut of the 2.
Do I see him going in there?
Yes.
Okay, Alina yells out, "Remember, there's a panther in there!"
Right.
You're like right at the door, and you hold back for a second. Probably a good thing to look out for.
As you were.
Cautiously open it so that I can close it if there's going to be a panther swiping at me.
It's probably her.
If there's gonna be a panther.
Yeah.
Okay.
Swiping at me. If the panther's like asleep in the corner, I'll be like, oh, sweet little bean.
You go over to this other door. As Billy is like picking through pockets of other grung, you just crack it open, and as you do, this thin slit of light comes upon this eye that is gleaming from the darkness, this huge panther eye. You've seen the cub, very similar. This is significantly larger. Larger than a normal panther would be, not tremendously so.
The other one that had been, I guess, for lack of a better word, casing the camp, still no sign of it, right?
Make a perception check.
And
Closing the door before I put myself in the crosshairs of 2 panthers.
Alina, as he's kind of closing the door so that he does not
I'm
put
gonna use my eye for
himself
detail
between
to spot hidden creatures.
There you go.
I was holding the little baby. I don't know if I would have put the baby down
Up to you.
look for rope. I think I would have honestly passed it off to
Minka?
Minka.
Okay, fair enough.
I try to explain to the baby panther that we're looking for a small rock.
Okay.
And like, listen, it's around here somewhere. It was really bright and glowy, and I'm sure it's here somewhere.
Okay. So you say that to this panther.
Yeah.
The ears kind of just like, you can see that they move as if they're listening to you, and then they just kind of paw at you a little bit, and paw's huge for their size. Unclear as to whether they could really understand you. Make an animal handling check.
Can I help her look for the rock?
Yeah, sure. Make an investigation check, or you could make one at advantage, Minka.
22 perception.
With a 22, you don't see this panther. However,
All right, cool.
you listen, and before you had heard the kind of like struggling of Grong like breaking through the underbrush, and you listen, and you don't hear that. You don't know where this panther is, but you get the sense that it's still around.
It was probably eating the ones that ran away.
I got a 9.
So Alina, you come over, and Minka, as you are like trying to explain this to this panther, Alina, you're like, "Are you looking for something?" And that kind of takes your attention away. You're not really able to convey what you're trying to. You get the sense that the panther isn't really listening to you. Weird in that it doesn't share a language, but
I tried.
it was a good try.
So, that grung that you turned to dust. It had a gem on it. It was holding one. It went somewhere. I can't find it.
I got an 18 on my investigation check.
Okay. Alina, now that you are looking for something, you kind of explain this bluish-looking gem. You look at this creature with the hand outstretched, the parts that are not like completely charred away, and following where the hand would unfurl, through the grass, you find about the size of a softball, this blue gem. But before even touching it, you can tell this is not a sapphire or something mundane like that. It looks almost like a perfectly translucent sphere that is full of like a blue, swirling, wispy material. It's not moving, it's nestled into the dirt, but there is movement within it.
Do I like recognize it as any sort of like arcane object?
Make an Arcana check.
No, I do not. 8.
8? Might be a fairy.
So I think this might be the mother. Maybe you want to bring the baby over. Maybe I'll open the door. Happy reunion.
Sure. And I pick up the thing and like toss it to Mika and then go over to
Toss the baby.
No, not the baby. No, she's not the baby. The stone.
You catch it.
Softball
The
size.
air around you, in roughly like a 10-foot span, just away from you. The grass is all like flattened for a brief moment, and around you can see like this ripple that moves through the area. And holding this is something that innately within you can feel a connection to. This is from the elemental plane of air. And without really thinking about it too much, you know that this is something that has some kind of air-related quality.
Okay. Awesome. So Minka's just kind of like gonna hold it and like, go to like try to pocket it, but it doesn't. I don't know if she has a pocket large enough.
It's pretty big, yeah. You try a couple times, and there's like a fork in one of your pockets. It's such an angle that it won't go in. So, yeah.
So she's just gonna hold it. But is the panther hurt?
With your eye for detail, the panther doesn't appear especially hurt, although looking at it, you can see, excuse me, it isn't sleeping. It's crouched down, very much so. And you can see there is around like the neck area a pretty heavy looking shackle, and you can see areas where because of the weight and the friction of it, it's definitely like dug into the skin. But other than that, it hasn't been like outwardly abused. It's just been captured.
Okay.
Billy gets real close and behind Ori and says, "Why didn't you go say hi?"
Well, no.
Maybe
Does
we
anyone
should
have any food? You
Yeah,
bring
it's baby.
the
Why don't we
bring the
just show the
baby.
baby?
You bring the baby over.
Okay.
It's shackled. I'm gonna have to
I'll bring the baby over.
shackle it.
You bring the baby over. Minka, are you proficient in animal handling? No, right?
The door is closed still.
Absolutely
Also,
not. I
enough.
just happen to be decent at it
Okay.
by
fair enough.
happenstance.
No problem. So,
It's true. It's fine.
Not my focus.
not a problem. So you carry this panther cub over.
Not really a
Panther cub in one hand, just this weird elemental gem in the other. No problem.
right. So, anyone have like raw meat?
Yeah, let me just get it out of my pocket.
Would there be like?
Alina gestures around at all the dead
Would there
grubs.
be like? Oh yeah. Well, at least not, I suppose. I'm gonna go slice off a bit of grung. Carefully, not the non-poisonous parts of the grung. Like, I feel like I'd have to do some sort of pufferfish specialty cuts.
Oh,
or
absolutely, yeah. Go ahead and make an nature check. Make a nature check as you go to handle this.
Poison this.
And so there's several colors of grung.
Yeah.
And this matters mostly if you fail.
I want the one that's gonna make me want mud again.
Okay, which one is that?
I believe it's. So there was. The red grung is not that one.
The red grung, I think, also got super annihilated.
Yeah. Yeah, which ones are still around? Because 2 of them are just erased off the plane of existence.
Currently, there is a blue one. There is a purple one. There is that kind of, we'll call it orange.
Okay.
And then I believe there is no red one left. I believe there's one yellow one as well.
Yeah.
And then there is a dead green one and a living green one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with, oh, jeez.
So you can see right now, Ori's kind of dragged several grung and like lined them up, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know which one." Really, a culinarian.
Orange.
Okay. Make a nature check.
Do I get my my advantage for? Does this count as using my intimate knowledge of
So let me paint this picture for
nature?
you. At the moment, you currently have like 3 or 4 bodies dragged up. Some of them still smoking a little bit from the Eldritch Blast. One of them has like broken limbs. And
If it's cooked, I'll probably take that one.
So you go and you're looking. You have this knife out. You're kind of like almost like this eeny, meeny, miny, mo motion. And then you look up and there's this other green grung that you've tied up. And his eyes look horrified. You just kind of, from like the tied up position, he just goes, "You're not going to eat me, are you?" And you recognize that you're butchering a sentient creature. So this is less Feywild, and I would say more just like a truly evil act.
Yeah.
However, no benefit for Feywild related.
Well, they're already dead, and there's a live panther in there that you captured. So,
Which, of course, if we let go, would just go find its own food.
yeah, but I'm trying to go in
I
unshackle
get it.
That's a 19.
A 19.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's saying this as you're like very casually saying this.
Sorry.
You look at that and you're like, okay, first of all, you pull on a glove and you're like, I probably shouldn't touch this with my bare skin.
Just
Food
like
sanitation.
souped up.
Yeah, OSHA will get you on that every time.
And channeling your best Julia Childs, you basically like, it's already most of the way there. And
Take
with
out
the,
2 sticks of butter.
you just spatchcock the grung.
Oh no!
You're able to remove just a little sliver away from what is essentially already a stump.
Okay.
Billy having done a lot of the work for you, you're able to yeah, no problem. You could take a little slap.
All right.
It's the butt.
I'm going to bring it over to the door, slowly open the door, just like, not trying to spook it. And I'm going to try to like toss it the meat to show that I mean no harm, so that we can slowly introduce the baby as I go to unshackle
Make
it.
an animal handling check. This is close to an appropriate thing that you're doing.
Guidance.
Thank you.
Go walks up and just taps you.
It's
I
the
like, maybe she like pops into the doorframe. Like,
plus.
Just like
When there's your guys, is there like a little celestial spark that comes with it?
pretty much, it's just like a gentle tap in the shoulder, and it's like.
Make this the cutest, guys.
You are a shooting star.
hashtag save
Rory.
Nika always. Uh-oh.
What's a face?
Where's my animal?
Billy's just gonna start like
based off
casually playing on her pan flute.
A 10.
Did you add the
That's
D4?
close.
Yeah. It was a 4 plus a 3 plus a 3.
So you open the door, and for a moment you kind of freeze. You see this huge panther in front of you, and you just hold out this bit of grung, and you're just and you're holding the meat in your hand. It's almost like when these eyes hit you, you are transfixed. And so it's nobody would even know that you're freezing. It's like a split second, and this creature lunges towards you. It rolls a 3. And so in this moment, you basically drop this little slice of grung as this creature grabs it right in front of your hand. You feel the humidity of its breath. You feel the whiskers from the lips, not even like the whiskers themselves. The thick hair around its lips like touch your hand. You just pull it away. And the whole trunk just like divides in half right in front of you and disappears. It lands maybe like a foot away from you, and you can just kind of wedge the door shut. But you hear the metal like chink, 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 as it pulls taut. And this creature, you would imagine, right on the other side of the door now.
Was a really good try.
All right, well, it's aware of our presence now, so I'm just gonna really just be ready.
Billy's gonna continue
bring
playing
forth
the
the
flute
child.
With what intent?
and using it as her bardic focus.
Okay.
Cast Unseen Servant.
Damn it! Talon!
So you cast Unseen Servant. I assume that's a woe.
Yeah. It's a birthday woe for Tara.
Apparently I was rolling too hot yesterday.
You were succeeded a number of times. More than the entire campaign up to that point.
And Billy's going to command it to go and release the shackles.
So what does this look like if anybody is watching you cast this? Does it just seem like you're just playing a flute?
It's just Billy playing a flute, and then there's like maybe a little bit of like displacement as it like settles on the ground in front of her.
Okay, cool.
Because it's unseen.
Yeah, no problem. For anybody who's
When you're right,
especially
you're right.
perceptive, it just looks like the grass just kind of bends. And there is an unseen servant in front of you. And what are you having it do?
You can just like do away with the shackles on that thing in there.
Okay. So it
I'm
moves.
just gonna open the door again and just have the baby ready.
Minky just like put the baby down, like standing a little bit away from the door, and it's just like standing there, like looking for like a dried piece of meat or something in her
Billy
pockets.
leans down to Alina and says, "You might want to get ready."
Alina gets ready.
Okay.
I open the door, but I'm behind the door as I'm opening it.
So you crack the door, and immediately as you crack the door, you hear again the as it gets as tight as this chain possibly can. You imagine this creature kind of leaning forward, the metal digging into its skin.
Get the baby, get the baby, get the baby.
You take this moment to allow the unseen servant to just slip into the door. It moves in, and I believe this is a sleight of hand check, and I believe the unseen servant has a dexterity at 10.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Minka is just basically standing in like the full sight of the door, so if it does fully open, it's just gonna be Minka and the small panther.
Yeah, I think Alina's probably moved off to the side and is getting ready to blast if needed.
5. Okay. So Minka, the door swings open. Less swings open and more Ori goes, "Ugh," and kind of like shuffles aside, still holding it as a shield. Alina steps up to the other side, and so to your perspective, there's nothing between you and this panther. All the way taut, you can see the mouth is open, these huge fangs. There's a little bit of drool. It's open in the way that lions will just keep their mouths open to perspirate a little bit, but it is intent on this cub that is in your arms. And it is just you framed perfectly in the door and this creature. And then you feel like things couldn't get worse, and then your eyes zoom past the panther all the way over to the wall, and you can see the pin that is holding the shackle in begin to just move up and down. It doesn't pull out. It doesn't seem to be able to quite move away, but you can see it like moves a little bit up. Not quite sure why that's happening.
I put the baby down.
You put the baby down, and the baby just runs in there, and you can see immediately this panther, it looks rough at first, but just grabs it by the scruff and just yanks it back. And you just watch as it just becomes from this panther to these two glowing orbs that slink back into the darkness. You hear the chain just kind of roll back.
Success.
United and it feels so good.
Can I get a sense of can I tell if the panther is injured?
Yeah, make a nature check.
Been rolling really well, so I'm very excited.
It does
Jinx it.
continue, like, the unseen servant continues the task to the best of its ability until
Yeah.
it completes it.
18.
Okay. With an 18, you sort of shuffle over to the window, being like, I could probably just look through here. And peering in, which it's there, you can see this panther. It's still dark, and as you get into the window, there's not a lot of light to see by, but you can just make out around the edge of the collar, there is like a little bit of like chafing and stuff. It's not like truly hurt necessarily. However, if you were just walking away and leaving a panther chained up in this house, the likelihood of it being able to hunt and survive is pretty low.
Yeah. We can't just leave him here.
We should certainly release it, but we just don't want to get mauled by the panther.
Well, it has its baby back, and it doesn't really look too hurt. It just looks like the skin got irritated. You know?
Alright. Well,
I don't
that's
have anything to get
distracted.
it, though.
I'll go in. I'll just break the shackle real quick.
Does Alina know that Billy cast Unseen Servant?
I would say probably not. It is, I mean, you know, by its nature, it is
It is
as Billy said, unseen.
It's hidden.
All right.
Well, hold on, all right, hold on. Why
It's
don't I
not
try to
subtle servant, it's unseen.
why don't I use my mage hand to try to unshackle it? That way you don't have to. I don't know.
Yeah, why don't you?
Well, it just.
Says the non-magical companion.
All right. Sorry, and I cast mage hand to go try to unshackle it.
No problem. So,
I literally just told you not to.
cracking the door open again, you dispatch this mage hand in, this almost copy of Alina's hand, and it drifts across the space. It's only about 25 feet, and so no problem within your range. Make I think this is a sleight of hand check using, I think it's your, I don't know how mage hand works for dex checks. Off the top of my head,
I
truthfully.
don't know either, but
Minka's gonna assist either by trying to be like the person on the side watching someone playing the claw game. I'd be like, no, a little bit to the left, or if that doesn't work, she's gonna go over and just tap guidance.
But
Quote-unquote
before,
assisting.
thank you. Before I do mess with the chain, the mage hand pets the panther, gives it a little scratch behind the ears, and then what's the verdict?
I would say just make a sleight of hand check using your own dexterity. That's fine.
Oh no,
Maybe it's not fine.
natural 1
Ooh.
with guidance, a
Okay.
total of 4.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the fucking low to drop.
So, Alina, you're like, you know what? I'm going to give this little panther a scritch. Yeah. And as this panther is, you can kind of visualize, because you can hear the rough, like, sound of the tongue on this little panther's skin, like, cleaning it, it seems like you time this kind of scritch right as the panther turns its head, and you just slap it.
Ow.
And you hear this from inside.
I'm sorry.
And there's like the jolt, and the wood actually buckles a little bit as it tries to like get out from this restraint. There's again another. It's just it's not happy.
Billy's like been peeking in the window this whole time, and it's just like.
Can your unseen servant make saving throws?
I don't know.
Look, he's got to make a dexterity saving throw because it is on the it's in a very small space with a very angry panther. I think it says if it needs to make a saving throw, it fails, or it'll have a
It doesn't
dex
say
score.
anything about any of that on my spell card.
Does it have a dexterity score?
It doesn't.
Okay.
It just has its strength score, which is 2.
So I'm
But
gonna
it
say
can't attack. Its AC is 10 and has 1 hit point.
my guess is it's going to fail if it doesn't have a dex score.
Probably.
So all of a sudden you are aware of this sudden severing as this creature begins just lashing out at things. There's a sound of wood exploding as it like paws a table in half. It's angry. Animal handling.
Alina's sped up and she's gonna go over to the grung that they have tied up. She's gonna like push him with her foot hoof and be like, what have you done with that panther? What have you done to it?
We tied it up.
Yeah, but what else?
We fed it a little. We gave it some water
Why did you trap it in the first place?
to sell it.
Oh. Well, how long's it been here?
I don't know, like 3 days, maybe 4. I just got here 2 days ago.
She's gonna kick him again for getting there and then be like,
That's not very nice.
Why'd you get here 2 days ago? Don't you guys live here?
No, I was switching out Dire Croak when he went to Petrichor.
Oh. Oh, so we didn't annihilate him. That's good.
so
Annihilated everybody else.
why is Dire Croak going to Petrichor?
I'm not supposed to say anything, but
She's
you
gonna kick
killed.
him again.
Oh, I was
kick, but
trying
like,
to tell you.
On shoulder, just pressing into the tree that he's tied to.
If you would just let me finish.
Just let him finish.
I was going to say I shouldn't tell you, but you already killed all my friends. So I'll tell you. God. You can see he just like squirms against the tree a little bit, and then he just says, Dire Croak had some kind of a job in the Emerald Spire that went wrong, so he's just laying low for a little bit.
Have we captured Napoleon Dynamite?
I love that.
Well, tell us more about this job.
I don't know much about it. I'm just here to switch it. Now it's really hard not to be Napoleon. I don't know much about it. I just came here 2 days ago to switch him out. You'd have to ask one of the other guys, but you killed them all.
You're the only one we've got then. Better try and remember anything you heard.
He thinks for a little bit and he goes, there's goblins that are up north, and there's, I don't really know much. What do you want to know? I know a lot of things, but not...
See,
Tomatoes are fruit.
Alina's just gonna shrug and look at, like, the team, like...
So, you said he's in Petrichor now.
He's going there, probably.
Probably.
Well, takes a long time to get there from here. He's got tiny legs like I do.
Do you have anything of his? Just like laying around.
You can see from like being pushed against the tree, he kind of looks back and forth, and he just goes, you could look in the sleeping cabin. Maybe there's something that he left behind.
You mean the thing with the panther in it?
No, that's the chief's cabin. That's where all the good money is.
Right. So,
Can you not be pushing me against a tree, please?
it's not very helpful. It's
All right, she removes her foot.
Ugh.
He's already down. You don't have to literally kick him while he's down.
This is a literal interrogation.
He's not going anywhere.
Alina's gonna like stalk off and go look for whatever might be hidden in the sleeping hut.
Okay. The sleeping hut is the one that is kind of like overgrown and gross.
Yeah. But now that I know that there might be some of his stuff in there, can I look at it with fresh eyes?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Real sorry about my friend there.
Thanks, she's kind of intense.
Really good cup, bad cup.
I was just thinking that.
That's what I'm
Lily's gonna
going
sit
for.
down and pull out her new sharpening stone and just start cleaning and sharpening her sword right next to him.
So, it seems like you're not really involved in what we're here for.
Looks over at Billy, just he goes, no, I'm cool. I just got here.
Yeah. So, here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Because I don't want any more bloodshed.
Ching, ching, ching.
I've got a friend down south.
Somewhere.
Or it just glazes over for a second. You okay, man?
His name's Yellow.
Found it before me.
Okay.
Now, if you can help us, I'll tell you where he is. You can go live out your life with him. He could use the help. I feel really bad. So, I think you'd get along really well.
I was maybe just gonna go back to Petrichor.
You shouldn't do that.
Why?
Petrichor's not going to be safe. There's a whole other thing there. I don't want you to get involved. It seems like you've been through a lot already.
Make a persuasion check.
With advantage for good cop?
Yeah, you know what? I would say. I would absolutely say that is it's a legitimate technique. Yeah.
All right. That's 17.
A 17. Okay.
Like that.
He looks at you and he just kind of goes, "Oh, I've had a kind of a hard time. Okay, I won't go back to Petrichor. Where's this Yipple?
This is he's down in the.
You keep all your memories written in that book, or what?
They're adorable.
He's in the valley.
He's in the Valley of the
Fireflies.
Valley of the Fireflies.
I think that's up north.
It's up north.
You said down south.
Not great
He's
with
got a
directions. It's been a long.
He's had a lot of silver grass.
I was attacked by your mates and was a little discombobulated.
Oh, did you touch her skin?
It's a little bit.
Silver.
So
It's a bad idea.
it's beside the point.
Listen, a few
I
days.
want to help you,
Silver grass. It's
but I need you to help us.
I want to be helped.
All right, this is good. This is good. We can work with that. So we need to know everything that Diacroak was doing, because he's a wanted man. Grom, wanted Grom.
Well, I really want to help you guys, but I got here 2 days ago. I can't.
get that.
I can't know more.
All right. So you know,
I can tell you he hung out at a bar in the Emerald Spire sometimes.
all right.
Is that
that's
helpful?
Good. That's helpful.
The
yeah,
armored
that's helpful.
cuttlefish.
You know who he was going to see at the armored cuttlefish?
I don't really know about that, but it's a place where people go because it's really hard to overhear things. So all kinds of shady people, I bet.
Right.
Billy's ears like twitch a little bit, like ooh.
Right. So that was very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So let me. I'm gonna untie you, okay? Don't try to run. I want to help you, but you can't run.
I'm not gonna. There's a panther stalking around out there. I can hear it.
Yes, so I'm gonna make you more comfortable. All right.
Okay.
Carefully untying, not to get poisoned.
Okay. You untie him. He stays very still. His eyes like glued to Billy, who is just sharpening their weapon. And he just like stays very still until you walk away. And then he relaxes a little bit. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Isn't your friend gonna be kind of mad though?
She gets mad at a lot of things. So I'm trying to,
You hear like crashing from inside the hut as like beds are overturned and like mattresses torn apart. And
stick it later.
What was your investigation check with
14.
14. With the 14, looking around, it's hard to tell what may or may not be Diacroaks. I mean, nothing. It's not like his mom is like writing his name in the back of the shirt,
Embroidered and all
Oh,
the
look, it says
shirts.
Diacroak on it. But you do find a couple things. You find a number of different like little traveling bags that look like they were kind of pre-assembled for people to sort of come and go with. So they have, well, it's essentially like a Dungeoneer's kit without any of the rope and without any of the flint and fire starting equipment. So there's like 4 of those. With the 14, you guys are rolling kind of low tonight, huh?
Stuff like that.
I mean, nothing that you could be sure is Diacroaks.
All right.
So, is there anything else that you can tell us? I mean, telling us about the cuttlefish.
You can't milk cats.
There's stuff related to the whole Diacroak situation.
Oh, he said anything. I really wish there was, because you seem like you've been you're reasonable.
You tried to be.
Do we know anything about Petrichor?
Do I know anything about Petrichor?
Make a history check.
That's not where the ambassador was from, right?
No. The ambassador is from the Republic of Volcanabear, but the Petrichor itself is located, I think, within the Republic, or maybe right on its border.
This is advantage on history checks to recall knowledge about it?
You know what? Actually, yes. I would say yes. Sorry. It's just so fun to say no. It's just so fun to say no.
No. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. With a dirty 20. You have certainly heard of it. You may not have gone, but Petrichor is one of the 4 conditional cities of Everest, which means it's only you can only reach it at certain times. Other times, it either exists solely within the Feywild or a different place. Petrichor is a place that exists within the Feywild, and its borders exist primarily wherever it is raining in other places. However, when it rains in this particular place within Everest, Petrichor appears. You think about this glass that you found, and when you filled it with liquid, it also appeared. And so you probably have within your possession a very good likeness of that city.
Oh,
And the geographical place that is.
Oh, it's all coming together. Oh. Huh. Okay. What are the diplomatic relations between Petrichor and Volcanobear?
With a 20. Petrichor is it is a Feywild based city.
Right.
And in and of itself, it is not relating to one of the factions. Very loosely, it is aligned with the Summer Court within the Feywild. It has canals that run through instead of streets, very similar to Venice.
Venezia.
With the only difference really being that there are these overarching kind of bridges that themselves also carry these canals. So they're kind of like upper and lower canals that can go. And then there are areas where the water does flow at an angle where it can still traverse up. So you could think about some of these as
Like log flume.
yeah, kind of. They don't go very fast, and so worth noting. It's a speed control. Yeah, it's like a Disney ride.
Yeah.
But there are streets like that. You've heard a little bit about that. In terms of its politics, you don't really know. Traditionally, some of these kind of larger Feywild established cities usually have a ruler, but you don't know who that is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, because it seems like whoever has murdered the ambassador is somehow related to Petrichor, or is at least Petrichor is a neutral place to whatever they're trying to do. Neutral or potentially aligned with.
Petrichor is also a place that you can only reach when it rains.
Right.
And so, if there's
Easy
an extended
getaway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly. And it is another place that you can traverse into the Feywild from. So, easy escape if you need it.
This is very helpful. What was your name?
My name's Patty.
like Paddy or Patty?
You're not there?
Is
it
Lena
like-
done in the
Like
cabin?
patty,
Yeah.
like rice patty, or patty like
Look, man, you've been really helpful. I'll tell you, but you just can't tell anybody.
Alright.
My mom named me Lily Pad, okay?
That's a cute name. That's a very cute name. You shouldn't be upset about
People
that.
make fun of me all the time. I'm a bandit, man.
Okay.
I can't just be called Lily Pad.
That's okay. Lily pads are fun.
Billy is snickering in the corner.
The grunt looks over. You can see he wants to tell you to shut up, but he is unarmed, and you are not.
You just need to don't listen to the haters. It's okay. Your name is Lilypad. You should be proud of that. Your name doesn't define you.
Make your persuasion check.
Billy is rolling her eyes really hard.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
Because
By
of
now,
Billy's
Lena
eyes.
has wandered back over.
Yes, oh, certainly.
And is sharing the eye roll.
Damn it! Oh, the eye roll really fucked it.
Okay.
That was persuasion. That's a 9.
You can see they're focused on Billy. Ooh.
Someone found a gem.
Yeah. They're focused on Billy. And at this moment, they seem a little bit too focused on the knife that is being sharpened to really take your motivational speech in stride. And they kind of mutter, just like, "Oh, my dad always rolled his eyes too."
Well, Patty, you've been very helpful. I think you should go meet up with my friend Yoppel. live out your life. He's got a nice little place there. It's got a wall.
I have to live there forever. Like I just have to go live my whole life out there.
No, it was just saying it's calm, peaceful. Take a couple weeks, see how you like it. You don't have to stay there, but just get away from it all for a bit.
Yeah, I can lay low. That sounds good.
And Yuppel could use the help as well.
Okay.
Tell him that I sent you, and he'll help you out. I think you can both learn a lot from each other. And it's not because you're both grown.
Are we party of racists? Are we all bad?
You can see his head turn suddenly and he goes, you could have just not said that. Because now he's kind of implying that it's because we're both grown.
It's because I feel... Honestly, it is a bit self-serving. I feel really bad. I was supposed to bring him along with me, but it's a bit dangerous what we're getting into, which is why I'm sending you to him, because it's not dangerous where he is. He's very safe now.
Alina's gonna jump in and say, "Are you gonna let him go or not? Because we have to deal with this panther situation." And
Right.
then
How did you capture the panther?
I didn't capture the panther. That was that guy. And he points over to the arm that's like outstretched, like that had been holding the orb, no longer.
Right. So...
He gets these gems from somebody in Petrichor, and they let him grab things.
I imagine this is when we kind of like look over to Mink, who's just
gem?
holding the gem and just like.
You can see he turns and just goes, yeah, don't drop that though, because you'll let it out.
what's in there?
Out?
It's like an air guy.
An air... Like an air
elemental.
genasi?
I don't know what that is.
It's... Right, so they use that to catch the panther.
Just looks right at him. You just point.
Just points at me.
You can see the grunt just looks at you expectantly.
Hi.
Hi.
So you're saying that they use that to catch the panther?
Well, yeah, when you break that, then the thing comes out and it can trap things and move things and...
All right,
Why do you want to break it? It's so pretty.
we're not going to break it. You keep it, it's fine. You're probably going to want to go soon, because we're going to get this panther out.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go before you let that out.
Yeah, so, any other questions for our friend Patty here before we send him on his way? No?
Alina just like raises an eyebrow.
You've been extremely helpful, Patty. I really appreciate it. Tell Yuppel I said hi. Good luck. Here, just, I take out like a couple bronze pieces.
Wow, bronze. Never heard of that.
Copper.
Or he's making his own coins as a hobby. Okay.
Starting a new society.
Actually, no, I don't do that because I only have gold.
Okay.
And I'm not giving them a piece of gold because I only have 3.
So you reach in your pockets, fish around for a little bit, and then walk away. No problem.
So, thank you for your help. The cuttlefish, right?
The armored cuttlefish is the place that he would hang out at, yeah.
All right.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me go.
Yeah, I'm sorry about your friends. You know, I tried. I came in. I was trying to, casually stroll in with the music.
That was really weird.
I'm usually better,
It's really foggy, and you rode in the
Next
middle
time
of the
I
night.
come to visit you and
I'll
Yuppel,
white horse. I'm gonna be honest. Some of us thought you were a ghost.
Alina's like, I'm gonna go release the panther now.
Right.
So
Oh, okay.
you're going.
You should be on your way.
You can see he stands up, brushes himself off, and he goes, "Bye," and just you hear flop, flop, flop as the feet slap away.
That's a pretty nice guy. I think I'll get along with Yuppel pretty well.
I think, sure.
Right. So this panther. Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
I propose
get to it then.
that, what if we all hide somehow and then release it so that it just goes off into the wilderness?
That seems like probably the best strategy. Yeah.
I think it's gonna probably go off into the wilderness regardless.
I just don't want it to go off with us in its maw.
Well, if we don't threaten it any more than we already have.
I did it accidentally. I was
You're like a
trying to-
smash as this creature is still quite upset.
I don't have any way of like helping with that situation. Everything I do makes me glow brightly.
All right, so maybe. This and panthers can climb trees. It's not very helpful.
Can we break the wood the metal's attached to?
Probably.
I mean, it's not ideal, but at least they won't be stuck in the shed anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a chain around his neck, though. It's not going to be very good. So you've
Billy
got
goes over to the
your-
shed to inspect, like, how thick is this wood? Is this some, like, well-made shed?
Well, going over, without even a roll, you had already seen when Alina had inadvertently just kind of slapped it in the face.
It was an accident.
It like rushed forward and the whole exterior buckled a little bit. This is not super well made, but additionally it has a little damage to it now. You can see elements that are a little bit cracked. It's already not in great shape.
So if Billy were to go to the wall where the chain is attached, because it's
From the
attached to the wall,
exterior, yeah. And you can actually see where from the exterior where it's fastened all the way through.
Oh, so I can see it. I don't even have to guess.
Yeah.
Sweet. Billy's gonna hack at it with a dagger.
Okay.
It's gonna be the dagger.
You take out the rapier and you're like, not sure how hard this wood is going to be, and you just sharpened it to intimidate them. You don't have to sharpen it again.
I've sharpened my longsword.
Ah, okay, there you go. So no problem. You fuck up your
Woman
rapier.
of many blades.
You take out the daggers and you begin to hack away at it. Taking a little bit of time without any issue, you can do that. Is there anything that anybody wants to do before Billy releases a panther that you have pissed off?
I'm gonna
We should hide or something.
strategically place the grung bodies away from where we're hiding.
Okay.
You know, there's like that tower thing. Can
We could just
so
go up in
go-
the tower.
Right, yeah. It's a natural defense position that has been used before.
How about you, Billy? You gonna be all right down there?
No.
You've got
At
your
least from-
magic.
I do have my magic.
Well,
hand.
just use your magic.
All
Why
right.
do you keep withholding this?
I'm not holding it.
You're gonna get us killed.
okay, I'm just gonna go in the like the little watchtower thing where
Okay.
the grung were firing at us.
No
Not
problem.
very long
You
range.
tuck the gem under one arm and you climb up. No problem.
Alina's gonna be like, fine, and she's gonna climb on top of the roof of Panther Hut
Okay.
and get ready to like mage hand once everybody else.
Panther
Billy,
Hut, not a
Billy
sponsor.
minor illusions. Fireworks, no. Billy minor illusions. The image of like just a dead deer.
Okay. So there
Just
is
on the
a
ground.
quick shimmer and then a dead deer just appears.
Just like some deer that's just kind of like just dead.
Yeah.
Maybe Panther
Looking
will
like
take
a
an,
tasty snack.
an interest in a dead deer because I can't create an animation.
Yep. Has a little tongue sticking out of the mouth. Full dead deer.
I guess I would pile up the bodies of the grung strategically behind this illusion of a deer that has just magically appeared.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
the hope that
Sort
the
of
panther
like-
would be like, oh,
Yeah,
be like,
olfactory,
delicious deer.
yeah. Well, just,
Great.
guided in the direction of not us.
And Billy says, "All right, we ready? Ready?"
Climbing up the tower here.
Okay, so you take you kind of cut it to a place where you only need to stick it in one to snap this beam, and it will free the sort of chained element away. And so you wait for that moment and make sure everybody's ready, and then you just thrust the dagger through, and you're rewarded with a very, very satisfying snap as the wood crumbles, and there is a burst of movement, and you watch as the door explodes out. This panther holding the cub in its mouth right by the illusion, right over top, right by the pile of grung, and just sprints into the forest.
Well,
Yay.
Gone.
that was pretty anticlimactic, actually.
Excited to not be trapped in a shed
Yeah,
anymore.
that's really
Just getting
dangerous.
slapped in the dark.
I'm going to go look for the gold
Alina's
that
like, it was an accident.
our good friend told us about.
Oh, right, gold.
I will be back, and then we should go report back to your friend. Yeah. pass him.
Okay.
All right. Gonna go check on this gold.
So you open the door. First of all, as you walk in, there's the element that's like broken in, and you can see Billy is like looking into this like roughly like foot wide opening in the wood now, and so you can see Billy straight through the structure. But between the two of you, there are two crates, one of which you can see is open and full of all kinds of vegetables, mostly gourds. The other one is closed, and then beyond both of those, there is what looks like a treasure chest. It looks...
Looks like or is?
Make a perception. You think about the keg that was outside. Almost bit Billy in the face.
That's probably fine, because that's 13.
With your eye for detail? To spot a hidden creature?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sure looks like a chest. In fact, it looks very treasury from here.
That's pretty
It looks-
treasury.
Extra shiny.
All right. I guess I'm looting this shit.
No
Checking for crap. For trap.
I wasn't sure if that's what you meant or whether you actually meant crap. Okay. Make an investigation check.
Wearing too much makeup to laugh.
Yeah, I've been trying real hard to touch my eyes.
17.
17. With a 17, you get close. And you know what? This is definitely a treasure chest. You've already established that. But it definitely pays to check for traps. And it's good that you do. Because as you get closer to it, this is a very rudimentary chest. Certainly grung fashioned. And as such, there isn't like a complex lock. It is just kind of a wooden latch. But
Covered in slime.
it is definitely covered in a very, very almost dark blue slime. Very similar to the kind of slime that Yeppel had on them.
That's the one that causes you to shit your pants.
It does.
Alina, can Alina have like followed him in there?
Yes.
Alina's gonna be like, stand back, Ori. I'm gonna use that magic hand you keep commenting on.
You
And
don't have to do it now. We did the hard part.
Nope. Gonna mage hand. You said I was holding back, and so here you go.
All right.
And she's gonna mage hand the thing open.
So Alina uses her magic hands to open this chest. You pop this open, you see a little bit of the slime like off, and you're really glad that you didn't touch it. And as you push it open, the chest is full of gold pieces. At a quick count, you would imagine roughly 200 pieces of gold.
All right.
Damn.
We got some good stuff here. Got some good stuff. I'm going to start shoveling it into my bag to be divvied up.
Okay. So you take the chest and you have to like get your arm under it and use your elbow to wedge it up, and then you just tilt it into your bag. No problem. Straight in.
Maybe we should divvy it up now.
I mean, yeah, if you... Sure. I'm
Well,
not going
I
to
mean,
try to...
because I'm a little late, you know, on account of having bought you all those drinks.
I bought our fineries.
Probably
That's
how like late in the evening is it now? Is it like night?
It's getting close to probably about 11 o'clock. I would say all of you having kind of grown up on this continent, this night sky, such as it is a very, very constant feature. And so most of you are able to tell roughly what time it is, at least when you're in the relatively like normal Everest area. So like 11 o'clock. It's getting kind of late. And I would say most of you are still going to be okay. You fucked your sleep cycle up already 5 sessions in. But most of you have about 5 hours until you're going to start rolling for exhaustion. Others of you have almost 8 hours.
That's fine.
Maybe we should just make camp, rest, fresh start in the morning.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous about it.
Mika's just like still sitting in the top thing, just like her legs swinging over like where the ladder is, holding thing.
I'm kind of nervous about like the whole evil things at night thing. You know,
Evil things. Right.
if we're gonna be traveling, I'd rather we do it not during the danger time.
Right.
Well, let's rest here then.
Danger time.
It's good enough camp for the grung. Should be good for us for the night.
You don't think they're gonna like come back and like try to?
They're pretty dead.
Well, they said they were
of
swapping
them are
out,
on the
right?
way.
That means there are more grung that use this place, and it was probably a larger operation
Oh.
than just the
We'll keep watch. We'll do good at the
Six.
guard. Yeah.
grung over
So-
here.
We'll keep watch. We'll
Good point.
Stay out of sight.
Yeah, we'll keep watch. That's what adventurers do, obviously.
Always.
We're
Never-
good.
We never forget.
All right. Well, let's divvy this up then, and then let's make camps made. Where do we go? All right.
Let's make camp in this pre-made camp.
So is the 50 gold each.
There you go. Look around for Cheshire, and they're not there, and so hopefully they won't mind.
50 gold each.
I feel like Cheshire has
Asterisk.
already accumulated that much just by picking up every.
There was a
like-
second chest with 200 gold. He was like, "Oh, this is nice. I don't want to take both though."
Cheshire couldn't take both. That's the only thing that would stop Cheshire.
It's just pocket space. So no problem. You can very easily make camp. There's still a fire going. There is even like a little bit of vegetable stew that is like on like a little little tin, almost like a cauldron, but a little smaller.
Billy starts like raiding the gourd chests.
Sure, all kinds of gourds. There are acorn squash. There, I mean, like any kind of squash that you can imagine is there.
Is there patty pan squash?
Sure, I don't know what that is.
It's like it basically tastes like zucchini, but it's like this big.
Yes.
It kind of looks like a flower, but also it's
Absolutely.
called patty pan squash.
There's absolutely that kind of squash.
Billy pulls it out and snickers.
Easy enough. Is there anything else that you would like to snicker at before taking a long rest or attempting to do so?
While Alina is just like resting, she's gonna re-summon Petal.
Okay. So, just reappears. You can see her arms crossed a little bit. She gives you a look that you know is a little bit of disappointment.
Hey, Petal, welcome back. Sorry.
There's a frog there, you know.
Sorry.
There's like a little as she like turns her back on you.
Oh no. I'll find a way to make it up to you.
Billy starts like slicing up some of the squash, and she just like looks at the patty pan and like chucks it behind her. No.
No problem.
I have a question.
This is some sort of elaborate joke that only you understand.
When it comes to upcasting, if you upcast something that doesn't have like an upcast like ability, it just casts normally. It's more.
Yes.
That's just the higher slot. Right?
Yeah, so you're just using the higher slot.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna cast a second level Goodberry because I'm out of first level slots.
Damn.
So you grow these good berries, and they are gooder berries. No mechanical benefit, but like when you look at them, they're a beautiful shade of red. Every single one has like the picturesque little like leaf off the top.
Can we make that the official spell? Like Tasha's hideous laughter. Make us gooder berries. It's a second level spell slot. That's the only thing that's different.
Yeah. I'll print out a spell card for you.
It's less efficient.
It'll be like your 8th level tea time spell.
Delicious.
I'm gonna go up to the tower, poof some stargrass, and play some flute until I fall asleep.
Don't worry, have you not learned your lesson?
So
I'm on first watch.
Okay.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Yay. Yay. Actually, this
Help
this
it
is a
notice
close
you
one.
neglected to tie yourself to anything this time.
There's the roof over the tower.
Oh, that's true.
Also, for what it's worth, it was Cheshire that was levitating you, not the
Yeah. That's a 17.
Okay. With a 17, as you puff away at this, you get a nice mellow high going. You know, you really, as you enjoy this herbal remedy, you kind of get to a point where you aren't thinking so much about the sound of breaking bones or the sizzling of burning grung. It's been a long day. You're able to kind of shove that aside and find some sleep.
Well, I'm going to play some sweet lo-fi flute tunes
Roll to my set of
for
dice.
sleep. We'll just put on my
Yeah, are we gonna get like
lo-fi
haunted,
sleep
like
tunes.
awkward flute noise in the fog again?
Maybe. This is performance?
Yeah.
This is a 14.
A 14, okay, not too bad. So,
See, I'm better.
as each of you does your various tasks, as you're settling, as you are summoning Petal, kind of laying out the elements that you need to do that, and Billy, as you sort of rifle through the squash drawer, and Minka, as you sort of like nervously look around, still up in the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so still very much up in the tower. Not sure who is keeping watch because nobody has said that they are.
Billy's keeping watch while slicing squash.
Okay, so Billy, watching with squash. You hear this haunting kind of flute. Sounds just like Invader Zim, but not a sponsor. But as this flute begins to move, at first it's kind of like the fog begins to shimmer, almost like the reverberations from the music affect it in weird and unnatural ways. And then suddenly, here and there, very similar to, and recalling your adventure from the north, you see just here and there little fireflies begin to settle into this sort of clearing. And then as the next couple of minutes pass, every note that you play seems to almost pull them into a line. And after about 10 minutes have passed, as you play, there is almost this aurora that is happening. Just simple green fireflies. And you being kind of stoned off the stargrass, you're just kind of like, yeah, of course this is happening. For everybody else, this is a little odd, but that happens.
The last thing that I want to do before going to meditation sleep is...
You mean the semi-conscious state where you were semi-conscious?
Yes.
Okay.
Hitching up them's horses for safety.
Okay.
Them's horses.
You see the horses eating this tiny little squash that was broken on the ground recently, and you pull them away and hitch them up. No problem.
And bring the squash so they can keep eating too.
Dang.
Okay. Or just tugs the bit out from under you.
No, the one that they were eating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the squash bits.
No problem.
The squashed squash.
Do horses like good berries?
That was probably pretty good.
Probably. Yeah.
You give them the good berry?
Yeah.
You gotta
Make
give it to
sure
them, and
it's
before
not
you even get it, before you even get it to their mouth, the lips just like reach out around it and just pull it back up, and they munch it down right away. It seems like, yeah, why not? That's exactly what it sounds
Turns
like.
out Minka's a horse girl too.
Minus 2 good berries.
Horse gets a little stronger. It's the same horse that you healed before. It's just muscular now. Me and the other horses were talking, and I'm not bringing you anywhere.
It's like the Jesus horse.
Yeah.
Most well cared for horse.
So, Billy.
I'm
you
gonna
are
say up
keeping-
with Billy.
Oh, okay. Billy and Minka, make perception checks as you keep first watch.
You okay? You've been like awake a while.
Yep.
Minka's gonna be up in like the tower and she's gonna be like, I just want to watch from up here. It's been really weird.
Probably for the best. You want to go first, or should I? Because I got a 12.
Got a 9.
Really distracted by this high dude in a tower playing music that makes fireflies go in a line, and also like trying not to cut myself on the squash, and also picking out and throwing to the horses the patty pan squash.
There's a lot of little things happening here. First of all, you're taking the squash and you're looking for this very mindfully. You know, it has a funny name. And so, as such, it's fun to watch the horses chomp down on them. So you feed them the squash. You also pay attention to this weird light show, this kind of Pink Floyd laser show happening here. But Ori falls asleep before too long, or falls meditation before too long. And
Just one note held. All the fireflies are like,
yeah, it's just him breathing in and out through the flute. But as the night begins to pass and a couple hours go by, the temperature is beginning to drop a little bit, and you can feel the humidity slowly beginning to climb. Though there isn't any especially dark clouds in the sky, you would recognize that probably tomorrow it's going to rain. 4 hours pass. Ori, you can mark off a long rest. For the two of you, suddenly the flute begins again. The fireflies who are about all dispersed at this point now suddenly just begin to drift back.
Right.
The fireflies are like, this is our jam.
Take the rest of the watch, get some sleep, head out in the morning. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So am I up now?
You'd still be asleep because Ori gets a full rest of 4
right.
hours.
Oh, shoot.
I don't know how you could forget that because Ori lets us know everything.
Billy's gonna stay up a little bit
It's like the
longer
one
because Billy has the
magical
longevity.
feature.
Sure.
So let
Magically waking
Minka
up.
sleep.
Before going to bed, I'll check the fire to see how that's doing. Did we decide to keep it lit while we're
I wouldn't have put it out before.
Billy's
Just
gonna
let
keep
it burn
lit.
out.
Okay.
okay? So she would just basically like produce flame on it just to keep it going and go to bed.
Okay. Mika stops at the fire for a second, which is like flickering down to its last embers. And Mika like looks around a little bit and then just a little motion. Cheery fire once more.
Thanks.
Yep.
Billy knows bad things happen in a magical darkwood.
Yes. And Billy, especially when Minka goes to sleep, it's funny because you've been traveling with Alina for a little bit now, and Alina's okay. When Minka leaves, for the first time, you almost kind of wish that she hadn't, because that darkness does begin to creep in. The fire begins to die down, and it is dark here. There aren't stars in Everest, and so as that light begins to die down, it's like the shadows creep in, even though it is getting lighter out, technically. But the night passes without issue, and you can all mark off long rests.
Right.
We did it, guys.
All right.
Would Billy be able to for staying up and keeping watch?
It depends on whether or not you are. So technically, if you're going to go to sleep, you would need to stay up you need to stay asleep for an additional 4 hours after everybody else goes to sleep. So up to you.
Probably not.
Okay.
We gotta get out of here.
So you're gonna be real tired today.
Making choices.
In
Love
a
that.
short rest?
Yeah, you can mark off a short rest.
Cool.
That definitely makes sense.
4 consecutive short rests.
Coffee lock. Maybe no longer.
I'm gonna
That's
adjust my
ridiculous.
spells.
Me too.
So one by one, all of you waking up. The morning is a little grayer than the day. Give me one moment here.
So this is day 3 now, right? Because we took one long rest before that grung fight. This is long rest number 2. So now it's like day 3.
It's day 2. You guys are really, really breaking up your sleep in
Okay.
funky ways.
In the context of, because Hirsim told us like it shouldn't take us more than 3 days.
Yes.
So
you've got
Alina
plenty
is
of
trying to
time.
keep track because she doesn't want to disappoint him.
Yeah.
We've got-
So you're on day 2.
Okay.
We're good.
Think how impressed Hirsim will be if we show up like well before he expects us.
He's probably gonna say something snarky.
I know. It's gonna be great.
I would really like it if we could, like, just leave, because the sooner we leave, the sooner I can sleep.
Looking at Billy, Billy's tired looking.
You could
Even
buy-
for Billy, who normally has like some purple bags under their eyes, they're looking pretty tired.
Did you stay up all night again?
Yeah, well, gotta have 2 people on watch, and I slept before this whole shebang with the grung.
Okay, you ride the horse.
Yeah, you just ride Chestnut.
Chestnut?
I named him.
Okay.
Did you ask if that's his name?
I don't speak horse, so seem to be okay.
Billy's just gonna breeze past for him.
Right past you, Ori. You kind of like shoulder check a little bit. No problem.
Alina's gonna kind of take responsibility for making sure that Billy like stays on the horse and gets a snooze.
Gonna mount up on the other horse after feeding both of them.
Okay.
Does other horse get a name too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
That's
horse
my
has a
special
name.
horse name.
Its special horse name is Matt hasn't thought of it yet.
No, I wrote it down. I can show you.
So you mount up on these horses.
I gotta find it.
As you sort of begin to think, Minka, and sort of gather your thoughts for the day, there is a shift in the pressure, and suddenly you feel this wind, and the first couple drops of rain. This light rain begins to fall.
The hood. And I reach up and pull Billy's hood up too.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Billy, it's raining. Come on.
Gets caught on some of the branches on her head.
Oh,
because
yeah,
Selena's like
absolutely.
on the ground. It's like, ah.
I did.
That's actually
did that
delightful.
thing.
You did do that thing. Can confirm.
So
That name is first.
you make your way, beginning to lead the horses off, and you guys are heading back to the Emerald Spire?
Yeah.
Okay. So you turn back around, and who is leading this venture? It's a little easier. You've traveled this now.
I'll lead.
I was gonna say, not Billy.
Yeah, Billy, you're sleeping. It would be a rough way to lead the journey. Alina, if you could roll a D100, please.
I'll probably, since you're being led on horse and you are in front of the horse, where are you? I'll probably take up the rear on the last horse.
Yeah, so I'll probably just be in between you guys.
Like, yeah, walking amidst the horses.
Yeah.
89.
89, very nice.
For a second, I was like, wait, that's not a D20.
The largest D20 in the land.
Some might call it a D100. So, with this D20, D100 roll of 89, you now refreshed, having just slept. It is raining out, but with the benefit of having Ori not talk quite as much, and almost with Billy asleep and having to watch for Billy, you find yourself keeping a little bit of a sharper eye out, and you come to a point where you recognize it looks like just underbrush and areas where branches have fallen over the years and kind of built up a scattering sort of floor covering. But as you get a little bit closer, you can see this is almost a there is like a kind of crevasse that digs down a little bit, and it'll be very easy to fall and get wedged maybe about 10 feet deep into this.
Oh, like that movie?
Some number of hours, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a sponsor.
Question mark? Time is not our sponsor. So you're able to direct people around this, unless you want to let somebody walk into it.
I don't want that.
Okay. You look at Ori for a second, and you're like, but he's on a horse.
I'm on
He keeps telling me how rude I am. I feel like that would be extra rude. I'm trying to.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
It worked.
It did work.
So you lead them around this
They're
path.
actually a weirdly good team.
And you continue to walk. The first leg of this journey goes off without issue. And in fact, that is such a successful roll that the second leg of this journey goes off without issue. And you find yourself getting close to noon before anything really changes. You walk through woods, the elements of oak in this area getting a little bit less dense as you begin to transition out. You're still seeing these gems, by the way, Minka. The Helios gems that are kind of these dark facets sticking out of the ground here and there, many wedged at the base of trees. But you've been warned not to touch them. But you may.
It's so tempting. But every time we pass one, like it just like holds on to like the little like air one that she can. She's like, I don't want to risk this one.
Every time you every time you grip this, almost like the dog looking at the reflection with the bone in the river, you're just like, don't want to let go of this. And every time you grip it a little tighter, there is this of wind that kind of seems to emanate from both of you. But no problem. You avoid that temptation. You continue to move, and around noon, it begins to rain a little bit harder. Give me 1 second here. What are you laughing at now?
There's just food noises over there, and it reminded me that when I went back and watched the stream from last week, the crunchy chips that we were eating, very loud. Sorry to everybody.
Less ASMR.
Munch, crunch, munch.
Crunch, crunch. So
Got real into the session and did not look away from the mic.
I also, everybody got to listen to us.
Snacks are important. You have to keep your blood sugar up. I am a firm believer in this as well.
This week we're doing. Sorry, Talon. This week we're doing some snacks.
So it begins to rain.
Oh. Thank you, Silenscape.
Yeah, digital tool set for
This
Dungeon
is very
Masters.
calming. Not for Billy. Billy is upset. Billy's wet.
Yeah, and Billy, you're asleep, kind of bobbing back and forth on the horse, and so you will be upset when you wake up.
It's sort of like that thing where sometimes like the thing that's happening in real life happens in your dreams, and Billy's just like wet in her dreams.
Suddenly on a ship in the ocean. There's a
How does Billy
Live with that.
How does
the owl person.
how does Billy feel about the rain?
Billy is less upset. I think I'm trying to transpose Kara's feeling about the rain onto Billy. Billy is less upset by the rain than Kara. Billy would probably be most upset with the rain for what it did to supplies
Okay,
than what it does to her.
fair enough.
But Billy doesn't like being out in the woods in the mud in the rain.
Sure.
Get you some orange grung, and that'll fix it right up.
As you're sleeping,
You'll love it.
you dream. Very similar to as you described. You kind of bob on the horse and you imagine that you're walking. The rain falls down, and as it pools and your head tilts to the side and the cloak that Alina put across your head slides a little bit, the water begins to pool in the cuff that is lined up into your ear, and you almost feel like you're back home where it rained and the mud sort of cakes around your feet. But in your dreams, you are not with the people that you are with right now. You're with one other person. And you are not wearing this ear cuff. But you all continue to walk. Alina, as you are leading this group, you come to an area now where kind of taking a little bit more of like a northwesterly path, intending to meet back up with the main road that both you and Billy had traveled. You come to an area where stones begin to stack like higher and higher, and they're not canyons, but there are areas where they're almost like big ledges of gray stone. And here now, as it's probably about 1 in the afternoon, the rain's coming down pretty hard and it's getting kind of slippery. And with you, your hooves, a little tough getting purchase now. So you mostly probably want to stick to the mud. There is a point. Whereas you find a little bit of a more dirt-based path that is between elements of stone where you can walk a little bit more reliably. Being alert for the members of your party, and this is right around, I would say, when you're starting to wake up, Billy. You see a glint in the darkness from the piles of stone. And you see, as you get a little closer, and there is this kind of moment where you clear a big outcrop, there is a stone off and in your path, maybe a little bit off to the side, that is maybe crusted with jewels. You see reds and blues that kind of shimmer, and instantly you almost like look around for Minka.
Look backwards.
You doing anything with that?
Minka's next to it.
Does it look like the other ones that we know are bad?
No, you don't see any gleaming dark gems. You see, it looks like somebody just put a bunch of glue on it and just tossed gemstones at it. You can see like they stick out in very, very odd ways. They're, I would say, make a perception check. It's gray and radiant, so details are hard to pick out.
18.
With an 18, however, not super hard. These are bright in this otherwise very gray area. Gray stones, the rain overcast has made the mud sort of a little bit reflective, and so it reflects the different shades of gray. And so these stand out very brightly.
So it's just one stone that looks like it's crusted with a bunch of gems, or there's multiple?
It's a boulder about your height, maybe a little higher.
Oh, I was gonna be like, I sent my mage hand to go pick it up.
And it seems like there are several gems kind of like ding, 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 like emerging from the face of it.
Okay. And is Billy awake at this point?
Yeah, Billy's like, and as you're looking and you're like, what is that and where is Minka? You kind of hear Billy like yawn and begin to wake up.
Okay, so Alina is gonna be like, Billy, look.
Have I noticed it?
What?
Have I noticed it?
Look at that. It's big.
I would say now that Alina has said, look at that, it's big. And Minka.
Minka, look at that.
Oh God, I was.
That looks.
Alina was
wow,
trying
even
to
I love
buy
that.
some time before Minka saw it, but okay.
So, nestled into this little crevice of stone, there is a single boulder of what looks like gneiss that has elements of gems just wedged into it. And these are not Helios crystals. These are, you see what looks like maybe a blood red piece of garnet that is just like wedged in, almost like fist sized. You see elements of amethyst, different gemstones within the same conglomerate.
Megan's gonna get really excited. She's gonna start approaching, and then she's gonna stop, remember the warnings, and then try to think if she knows whether or not this is a natural occurring sort of like collection.
Make a nature check, yeah.
I'm gonna get you new dice.
7.
That's probably fine.
You know how sometimes you want to believe something? You look at this and you're like, that's natural. You walk right over to it.
Yeah.
Very little thought about it, but you've seen gems in the wild. And so, you know, logic would dictate that these are probably natural wild gems in their habitat.
Remember, we're not supposed to touch the gems.
Minka?
They're different though. she kind of like just trots over.
Doesn't. Oh,
Alina's gonna follow
to be
over
a-
because she might need to like body check her at some point.
You follow over.
doing situation.
So, Minka and Alina are approaching these gems. Ori, what are you doing?
Cautiously watching upon my horse.
Okay.
Like, do I know if
I was
that's
hoping you were going to
something?
start talking to your horse.
Is that like? Have I
nature
ever
check.
seen anything
Make a
like
nature check.
this?
Billy, what are you doing? You kind of come to waking up out of this dream. Parts of it very unpleasant, parts of it a little bit more so.
Billy's
I get to make a
grouchy and
check,
doing
too?
nothing about this.
Huh? Sorry, yeah, I caught you at a rough time. What
Billy
was
is grouchy and doing nothing about this.
fair enough?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. You thinking about this, and if you want to make a check, Alina, you absolutely can.
feels
You
fair.
thinking about this. I mean, they're gemstones on a rock. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they're all in the same rock, but there's nothing that, like, there's nothing that glares out trap. Something about it does feel weird, though.
Yeah, I would maintain my cautious yet observant position.
Okay, you do so.
I got a 9.
A 9? Rocks.
Rocks, man.
Yeah, that's natural.
Yeah.
So you approach and get up to this thing. And how close are you getting to it?
I think at first Minka will get probably like an arm's length away from it
Okay.
to observe it, and then barring anything happening, she's gonna like start to like really inspect it. Maybe take out like some tools to see if she can chip off like
Okay.
a good one, you know.
So you stay at arm's length. And you look and you watch as the water strikes the stone and begins to run down. And it's falling pretty hard now. This glossy stone, it seems as if it doesn't react in any way. It's just a wet rock that is holding some gems. And so you take out some tools. I would say make an investigation check as you look for a particularly nice gem.
All of my dice, all of them need to go.
Oh no.
8.
An 8.
You don't need dice jail, you need a whole dice prison.
You see a really nice garnet that you saw before, but that's smoky quartz up there. And then wait, is that citrine? You get kind of overwhelmed, but you realize if you hit the stone really hard in the middle, maybe multiple parts will fall off. And so for all of you, you watch as Minka very carefully is like looking and then goes, oh, ching, just right in the middle. There's a clang, sparks kind of light up in the middle. It is relatively light. Yeah. The rock is like, hey.
Just gets up.
That's what the rock sounds like. Not a sponsor.
Oh man. So You slam into this rock, and there's little bits that go everywhere. You see that little garnet that you had kind of coveted, just and almost in slow motion, end over end, like over the boulder, and just gets wedged into a little rocky, so the rocks are stacked up and they're kind of built up in a way, and in between these two boulders, it's like wedged.
Dang it.
You can reach it, but you'd have to like kind of crawl up, and then it's definitely going to be like a sleight of hand check to like just barely pick it up.
Okay. If no one stops her, Minka's just gonna climb up on top of the rock and try it again.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Wait. Elia's gonna be like, wait. Maybe I should use my magic hand?
Oh, right. I could.
Something
that-
less loud.
Yeah.
Just
If you
be
could.
careful. You already touched it.
Ori told me that I was holding back my magic hand, so why don't you let me give it a try?
Make a sleight of hand check.
It could slip and fall in the rain.
Yes.
There's a panther.
Help that panther, it'll be fine.
I was going to
13.
go into the
13?
room with the panther.
Oh, it's close. You get this little hand in, though you can't really perceive anything. As you look, you see it shift and wiggle back and forth. But it's like, and this almost looks like a cut gem. It's a very nice specimen. The terminating point of it is wedged so far in that that's the one part. And you imagine if you were more dexterous, like a real hand, you could just twist it and pull it out. But your hand, the extension that it is, not quite able to pull it. Literally one short of the DC.
If only someone had cast guidance on
I
me.
know, yeah.
Forgetting. I keep forgetting because it's touch and then people keep running away from me.
It's like a bad game of tag.
All right. I'm gonna do it.
I don't like this, Minka.
Alright, just make it quick. Be
Elena's
careful.
like, I don't like you having nice things,
Bill-
Micah.
Everyone's like, I'm gonna go. It's
Billy's
fine.
gonna just be like, hurry up, I would like to get out of here and give Minka Bardic.
Okay, nice.
That's gonna be needed
Touch my eyes.
because I rolled really bad.
Okay. So Dex, just flat Dex.
This is going to be a sleight of hand check
sleight
as you try to maneuver this out.
So I don't know if you know this,
Essentially
but you can guidance yourself.
Also true.
Can you guidance
But
yourself after
you have
rolled,
not,
though?
because you rolled, yeah.
Yeah, I rolled an 11.
I used to do it all the time as Gunther.
And are you using your bardic inspiration?
I did.
Oh. So you watch.
Yikes.
Mika is like, it's okay, I got this. They climb up, already kind of sliding down the stone a little bit, but you have to climb up this rock, Mika, that's almost your height. You get to the top. You unsteadily kind of wedge one foot on one boulder, the other on the other. You have to bend down to get this garnet, and your fingers close around it, but it's wedged. You can kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit. You wiggle it back and forth a little bit, but it seems to almost be getting more stuck. And then you realize it's not really getting more stuck, it's sinking into the stone. And then you recognize this is not stone. But because it is 8:45, well, would you guys like a little bit of visual perspective before we
Of course. I want to see what kind of ooze I'm sinking into.
So the narrator, she was not
You
fun.
know, we almost dodged this because I was getting ready to be like, maybe we should just like give up and leave it alone.
Absolutely not.
But then we didn't, and now we're gonna die.
Yes,
Yep.
Don't worry, I
Well,
changed my
everything
stance.
is fine.
Minka's gonna die.
I'm gonna, yeah.
I'm on a horse. I can just ride away.
Minka's gonna die. I'm on a horse. The Ori story.
I'm just gonna ride away.
So now-
That for ASMR.
oh look, these
will
look
see.
familiar.
Yeah, they do.
Almost as if they were painted by a certain someone.
They're all gray oozes, but I decided it would be much easier for you guys to see if I. And also, I really like them painted. I don't want to paint over them. But let me pull up our battle camera. Give me 1 second here, and then a reminder for all of you folks. Oh wait, we have a close-up camera. Look at that, the Albron RPG battle cam.
Woo!
But for that and more, you can check out Instagram at AlberonRPG. There'll be close-ups of this at some point this weekend. Minka, and actually, we'll place you guys over the break, but you'll see that stone covered in mushrooms, and there's those two green oozes right on either side. Mm-hmm. At the moment, you are falling into that little crevice between all three.
Nice.
Oh no, like that movie.
Yeah. I know what the title for this is going to be. For the rest of you, you're going to be able to place yourself anywhere within 15 feet of that, as you are all roughly gathered around. But we are going to take a quick break. It is 8:46. We'll be back in 10 minutes at 8:56. There's a timer. We'll see you then. And welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us through the break. For those of you who did, if you're just joining us, welcome. We're going to jump into a little bit of combat as our group has wandered into this stone sort of valley and, lured by Minka's curiosity, has found themselves surrounded by gray ooze that begin to animate along all sides of this canyon. Now, for those of you at home, there are green oozes and red oozes, and those are all actually gray oozes, but you wouldn't be able to see them if they were gray. So this is really to make it a little easier for everybody. That being said, as these things begin to shift and move, first of all, Minka, you feel the garnet sink down a little bit, and that feels weird, and then the rock begins to bubble and move. As you all begin to look around, at first it's almost like the rain intensifies in certain areas, but then you realize it's not rain bouncing off, it's just these oozes beginning to bubble and roil. If everybody could go ahead and roll for initiative.
Look out! There's.
Are you placed where you want to be?
Oh, is this? Oh,
He
no,
said that
of course.
we could be anywhere within how
15 feet of Minka.
All right, yeah, I would probably
Yay, it's
have
cocked.
stop on the horse.
That is so many more feet than 15 feet.
Oh, that's for you tonight.
I'm gonna steal this for
He said all of us.
Yeah, here we go. That's fine.
Give me a stopwatch.
Yeah.
That's like
Guys, we're more
15?
We're more faster. That's
1,
not
2,
grammatically
3.
correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
I'm like branding.
Yeah.
Like I'm like
I'm on the horse. I'm not gonna.
All
get
right,
super
anybody
close.
natural 20.
All right, roll.
All righty. 25 to 20?
Yeah. I got a dirty 20.
22.
22. So Billy is going to be starting
Also a
us off.
22.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Oh,
So-
Where do you want to
Minka.
be, Kara?
Probably closer to that horse because that's where Billy would have been.
Ori, where are you?
We're all just
18.
throwing the
Ori.
rules to the to the winds. 15 feet, 60 feet. Who cares?
Same difference.
I'm following
This
the
is a
rules.
fast and furious combat. So, the way that this is going to work, Billy, you are starting us off, followed by Minka, followed by Alina, followed by the ooze, followed by Ori. Everybody above 18. In this
Wow,
initiative.
I thought
Yeah.
I was like, oh, 18.
That was really
still
good.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, I was stoked. When I rolled, I was like, wow, the ooze are going to go first.
Wow.
And then, no, they're going almost last. So, this is starting with Billy. Billy, from your perspective, the rock begins to boil. You hear Minka yelp out, and as you watch them try to pull their hand back, you see these stones begin to shift and slide down the rock. Many of them begin to rush you. I would say, Billy, on your turn, you see the two that are red. They do look a little bit different. They do look as if they're moving in a little bit more like if you've ever seen a non-Newtonian, this is so specific, a non-Newtonian fluid, a non-Newtonian ferromagnetic fluid placed on a speaker, when that's turned on, it becomes very spiky.
Yeah.
The ones that are colored
who hasn't seen
red, they shift like that, with these spikes kind of moving. The ones that are green, they seem to be much more like boiling, kind of roiling oozes. They're all gray, for what it is worth. So, Billy, what would you like to do?
Well, Billy's not got a whole lot of a jump on things right now, as Billy is grumpy and tired. And also
Classic.
behind a
Billy's
rock.
having a tough time.
But Billy kind of rushes forward to about yay,
Okay. It's 20 feet.
and then sees the green ooze. Well, what is the green ooze
Yeah.
above Minka there, and casts Hex on that creature.
Okay, could you put that on the ooze? Thank you.
Oh, I didn't roll spell.
Electro ooze.
And it's gonna have a disadvantage on, let's do wisdom,
Wisdom, okay.
because ooze. We're gonna just give us some extra bonus attacks because
Yeah.
wisdom, not wise. Most likely it's ooze. Where's the brain?
Okay, so as you see this begin to move, and for the way that this one is kind of situated, it has several of these tendrils of gray ooze that have strung down, and as they begin to pull the garnet and other gemstones up and away towards it, you can see it's almost fishing Minka in like a lure. But suddenly the shadows around it just suction onto it, and it seems like it doesn't really react. But anything else, Billy?
Billy's long teeth gleam as she gathers force damage to cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay, roll your attack.
That will be... What is my spell modifier? I forget what it is. 23.
23 hits.
Yay! Yay! Thanks, Matt.
I give a thumbs up.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's okay. The important one rolls well.
Okay.
That's 2 points of force damage and 3 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, so this force blast slams into it, and as it does, you see elements of the gray just away, and as it strikes the actual natural stone, it begins to hiss and sting. This is certainly corrosive, badly corrosive. But that element kind of heals back a little smaller than before. Anything else, Billy?
Billy would see that like steam rising and just like, I wouldn't let yourself get touched by these guys.
Very nice.
As someone is actively sinking into one.
But yeah, Minka's hand is like 5 inches away. But that is Billy's turn, and that it does in fact bring us to Minka. Minka, you hear Billy like say this right as you're about to touch this now moving gray stone. What would you like to do? That garnet just within your reach.
Do you want that garnet? How badly do you want that garnet?
It was a real garnet.
Oh yeah.
I think, even though this is a dumb thing to do, she's gonna. Okay, wait, hang on. Odds are evens, guys.
In this, see, this is what I do in a lot of these situations. Is I roll a d20 and it's high-low of 10.
Odds. Okay, so it was basically odds she would reach for it, and even she would.
Beautiful. Go ahead and make an athletics check, as technically, very technically, this is being held by the ooze. So this is a competing athletics check.
Athletics.
Wow. That is a 19 for the ooze.
2.
So what we're going to do is we're going to say that this is an attack of opportunity as a reaction, because you go to grab onto it and it's like the stone around you, these 4 or 5 little tendrils that then around your arm, and instantly some of the homemade jewelry that you have snaps, ting ting ting, little elements go away as it begins to dissolve in the slime.
Yep.
That is going to be maybe not. That is going to be a 7 to hit.
No.
Okay. So it swipes out at you, and you're able to yank away as Billy calls out a warning. Anything else, Minka?
So, I'm going to attempt to move away from the ooze.
Okay, it's reaction already used. You're able to jump away from it without provoking an attack.
I'm going to run behind Billy.
Okay.
I can move 35 feet, so...
So you can't go through that stone. So you're kind of...
Right, I'd go around.
2, 3, 4, 5,
25,
6, 7.
Yeah, that's fine. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to invoke a constellation. I'm actually going to take a different one this time. I'm going to take Constellation of the Archer.
Okay. So as Minka runs around the corner this time, Billy, you've seen this before, but the way that this constellation looks is vastly different. As Minka takes the first few steps, it's like each step makes a ripple move out across the water, the celestial light shining these almost halos around her feet, and then the legs and the body become a little bit insubstantial, and you can see each joint becomes almost like a gleaming star. Minka now a constellation, and as your arm comes out, it's as if this just bow of stars emerges.
sorry. That's gonna be Minka's turn.
That was her action, bonus action. And
This living constellation says, sorry, as they move through the battlefield. That is your turn, Minka. That brings us to Alina. The oozes are on deck. Alina.
Olive gave us a wheel.
Okay.
Solid.
Thank you.
Also, I forgot to roll
balance out the woe.
for Petal's initiative. She also got a dirty 20, but her dex is higher than mine, so I believe Petal would be going next.
Okay, fair enough. So I'll put Petal at 21.
All right. So Petal's just gonna go and try to distract the ooze.
Okay.
And she's gonna do that by being like, hey, Uzi. I don't, she doesn't know whether it's working, but she's giving it a red hot go.
Sure. So Petal goes over and you can see this rock has a bunch of other non-precious gems, little bits of quartz like broken off. Yeah. So Petal goes and ding, takes a little piece off and just goes, hey, and hucks it end over end. And it just kind of ding off the ooze. The ooze doesn't seem to notice.
Okay. That was my attempt at the help action.
Yes,
okay.
but unfortunately, for what it's worth, it doesn't seem as if these creatures have the intelligence to be affected in that way.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, that's going to be Petal's turn. And then on my turn, I'm going to call out, good try, Petal. And then Hex the big ooze.
All right.
Hex.
Can you put this on
being
the
the big ooze, right?
Yeah, the big spark.
Or
Now,
this isn't it.
Those
This
two
is the
things
big
are not
ooze.
oozes. That is an actual boulder that has actual gems.
Oh.
That ooze,
This is the
one
one.
that's already hexed. That is the one that kind of put elements of it over that and is drawing them back like lures. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think
thought
I
there was
didn't realize
another
that.
ooze.
So you
being there.
can either take that back or you could place it on a different ooze if you
I'll
wish.
take it back.
There you go. Zoom.
interesting.
I guess I'll do this one over here.
Okay.
And then Eldritch Blast. Pew!
I like
What a
That's
winning.
not the sound of the spell. That's just
Yeah.
what Alina does every time. Pew!
No problem. So it's pew as it just bursts out.
Makes me
But
glad I don't have magic.
you can chill your shadowy hex around this spiky looking slime.
I do.
And go ahead and roll your attack.
15?
15 hits.
Hey, look at that. Okay, we got 6, 10, 2 more, so that's 5. So 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. Nice.
I don't know if this matters because ooze, but the last 2 points of it were bludgeoning damage, not force.
No, it doesn't really matter, but good to keep track of the types for sure.
Neato.
This Eldritch Blast slams into it, and you can see, just like before, parts of it just out and begin to sizzle on elements of the rock before, although not all of the rock.
And then I'm gonna just back up a bit.
Okay.
2, 3, 4. Ah, sorry, Billy. Sorry.
Oh.
So you back up, shifting past Billy. You look over to your left, and Minka is a glowing, like, celestial archer that then just goes, sorry, through the battlefield.
Good job, Minka.
That is your turn, Alina?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that brings us to these oozes. So, starting with the two ones that are colored red, the one that is all the way in the back is going to down to the ground and move 10 feet forward. The other ooze is going to stay exactly where it is, and those two, well, the first one that is hexed, you were just about to touch it. Yep, that one is going to take. You see it like the spikes almost go higher, and then they draw within, and then this ooze backs up and fires an element of itself at Petal. What is Petal's AC? That's not great.
15.
Okay, a 5 does not hit, and so Petal, sensing this within the rain already kind of like weighing their wings down, lets the weight drag them down underneath this little corrosive bit that into the grass. The other one is going to take a shot at Petal is the closest, so probably also Petal. You guys are tanking with your pixie familiar. And that is going to be a 23 to hit.
That does hit.
Yeah, and so that is, you see this little tiny bit of corrosive element just right on
You never
Petal's
know.
shoulder, and Petal turns, and you can see Petal just go, no, and just immediately disappears into a of dust.
Wings again, just like
Sorry,
Yeah.
but Tracks.
Petal was alive for 4 hours. But that is the 2 red ones. Now the green ones. All of the green ones are going to
saw
move
that.
15
It's like
feet
shooting
towards
itself.
Minka.
Yay!
Because Minka is the
Is this
closest.
when, like,
15, you
who's
said?
downward?
One.
Yeah, and they can move through the rocks as if they are not difficult terrain, very much like liquids. So they, I believe that 2 of them should get in base contact with Minka. There's one that's going to get 5 feet away from Minka, but they will take their, they will use their action to dash. Yep, and that one will get in contact with Minka as well.
This one?
Yep.
Shit.
And then I believe there's one more, and that one,
There's one on the.
yeah, and that one's going to end. Yeah.
This one needs to use its full
Yep.
movement to get over to there.
So Minka, all of a sudden you dash away. Sorry. You turn around, this celestial bow in your hand, and as you pull it over, all of a sudden it's like the rocks are closing in on you. Only 2 of them are going to be able to take attacks against you, however. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
Misses.
Okay, and then a 7 is going to miss as well. So as they begin, they go over you, you're able to fire off one of these almost glowing arrow-like projectiles that explodes it in the air, and it just seems to be absorbed in the rain. The next one, as it reaches towards you, the same thing, but they're closing in around you. That is, however, the ooze's turn. That brings us to Ori. Ori, what do you want to do?
Have I ever seen anything like this before? I'm trying to.
As an action,
Yeah, I'm trying to, as an action,
make a nature check.
like
Make a
discern-
nature, history, or arcana check, your choice. All will have different results.
Okay, nature, history, or arcana. I think I'm gonna have to go. I mean, I'm not good at any of those. But I'm gonna go with, is
Akka was
Would
like
I
a
get-
super optimized character. Ori is like Akka's little brother that like never just still live with their parents.
would this, if I do the nature,
I wish I could live with my parents.
would I be able to use my advantage to recall information about creatures within the Feywild?
These
or
are
Everest,
not
rather?
creatures that come from the Feywild.
But Everest?
They're here.
Yeah.
They're not. They didn't evolve within Everest,
Right.
so you're not getting a bonus for any of
Let me
these.
roll, let me roll nature. Oh. All right, that's a 16.
A 16.
bad.
So you look and you watch as Minka fires off these 2 arrows, exploding one and then the other. These are corrosive. You can see elements, and as they touch, I would say with that, you've never seen things like that before, but tracking what you're seeing happen here, they're being damaged by your companions. Everywhere that this slime touches, if it touches anything that looks like it has iron or metal in it, it begins to dissolve.
Okay.
Very quickly. So much so that you would imagine hitting this with a metal weapon or having this touch your metal armor would be very bad.
All right. So, noting that, and noting that all of my weapons are like either made of metal or tipped with metal, except for the one that is just a whacking stick. I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, that oil in the mouth thing really worked last time when I was blowing up those fucking grung, and also that time that I had to pretend to be a
So what are
fire
you
breather.
doing?
I'm going to pull out my flask as a bonus action,
Okay.
I guess,
Sure.
and dismount my horse, trying to free action, so it might not work, but to try to get them to like take a cautious amount of space back
Okay.
from the
Yeah.
oozes.
So
No, not ya.
bonus action, you take out the
a running
flask.
word.
What else are you doing?
Getting off the horse
Okay, you get off the
and like
Call me.
making my way over to start a nice fire breath cone.
So you get ready, you have the flask in one hand, you have your other hand on the horse trying to like shove it away a little bit. No problem, that is your turn, Ori. That brings us to the top of the round. What an interesting turn.
Don't use meadow.
You hear, Billy, your own sentiments echoed, and Billy, what would you like to do? Minka, you're on deck. You sheathe your weapon.
Billy sees that they're all kind of heading towards Minka, And looks at the one that's closest to Minka on the left side of Minka, so
Sure.
Joe's left.
Yep.
And kind of points at it and says,
Your mother never loved you.
and casts vicious mockery. Wisdom saving throw, please.
Is that for charmed?
I don't believe so. It's not gonna charm it. It's just gonna hurt it and have disadvantage.
Saving throw. Man, this is hard to read. That's pretty good. That is going to be a 15.
That makes it.
Alrighty.
And then Billy's going to realize that all of her close-ups stuff is gonna get eaten away, and you know how much she loves her swords.
You mentioned it once or twice.
Beep, beep, beep. I'm gonna stand relatively near Alina.
So you end up sort of near Alina, the two warlocks backing up away from the fray a little bit.
And then
Leaving Minka as a tank.
Billy calls out, good luck with that. And gives Minka party.
Questionable if it's inspiration or not, but yeah, you have it. That is your turn, Billy. You backpedal away from these slimes. Minka, what would you like to do? You are told that you have this.
Okay.
In this moment, you turn, you wheel around, you fire off these two arrows. There are 5, 6 slimes rushing towards you. All of your friends behind you. They have all just left the fight. What would you like to do?
I mean, I guess I deserve this. So seeing as she once again was focused more on having spells that were good for traveling and not for battling, Minka's gonna use her action to cast Fairy Fire.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna try to get as many oozly cannons, 20-foot cubes.
Yeah, I believe you can
Quite
get
a few.
3 or 4. I can't really tell if you can get that other one.
Yeah.
This one's technically on top, in the rock, because
Yeah.
they can ooze through, but cannot fit mini in the
I'm
rock.
gonna say that you can get all 4 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
So she's gonna cast Fairy Fire.
What kind of
So
save is that?
it's a dex save,
Oh, okay.
and it's against.
Okay. So that is going to be an 8, a 16, an 8, and a 14.
Okay, let me see what my thingy is. Hang on. Okay, so DC is 14 save. So
Okay.
it sounds like 2 saved?
Meets it, beats it. So 2 save, yeah.
2 saves. Okay. So 2 saved, 2 didn't. So the ones that didn't save get kind
Does
of.
Hex give 1 disadvantage on that?
It has disadvantage on wisdom saving throws.
Okay, no. Okay, all right.
Okay, so the ones that failed get kind of a sparkly blue outline, and you get advantage on hitting them.
Can put Hunter's Mark on those too.
Oh shoot, I just realized that the hex one is also within touch range of Minka.
Yeah.
Oops.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So those two begin to glow with the celestial energy as the fairy fire settles down across the battlefield. It seems to mix with the rain, and for a brief moment, this 20-foot cube becomes almost like this electric light show of LED lit rain that falls. Anything else, Minka?
Yes, so
A regular hex, or is it your special?
No, it's a regular hex.
Okay.
So, she wants, for the archer, it's a
Okay.
ranged spell attack as a bonus action.
Yep.
So since it's a ranged spell attack and we're melee combat, it's disadvantage.
Correct.
So she's going to fire at one of them that failed to get a flat roll.
Okay, fair enough. So kind of seeing this effect fall across some of them, you can see a few of them. The gray ooze begins to shimmer from within as if that fairy fire settles into the material that makes up their body. And so you immediately recognize which ones to target. You can see the one that is like, well, yeah, you can see them both.
Yeah.
The ones that are marked.
I'm going to do the one that isn't hexed.
Okay.
And then we'll see if I hit it. Ooh, pretty good. Dirty 20.
Yeah, that hits.
And then it will be max damage.
Nice.
So that is 12 points of radiant damage.
12 points of radiant damage. Nice. So as the fairy fire touches at first, begins to shimmer a little bit, and then you fire one of these arrows. And the arrow is almost like a tip of celestial energy attached to this dark navy, almost midnight blue shaft. And as you let it go, it's like a bolt of lightning that streaks across the battlefield and hits it. This thing erupts and writhes, but it is still alive.
Cool. And then Minka's gonna go like, oh no, get away. And she's gonna just try to get away. Being one of the few people that has all leather equipment,
Yes.
so I'm actually gonna run that way.
Okay. So you're going to Leroy Jenkins right through three of them, provoking 3 attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
This
Cool.
like here.
Yep.
Does Minka have a last name? I can't remember.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So this is the new Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah. It's Ruffle.
This.
Minka Roth.
Quite roll off the tongue of the.
Oh boy. Okay. There's going to be a 20, a 22, and a 17.
All for you.
Kind of
That's rough.
Yep.
Okay. So
Rafflecopter.
also raffle.
first, you are going to be taking 7 points of bludgeoning damage plus 9 points of acid damage. From the second one, you will be taking 5 points of bludgeoning damage plus 6 points of acid damage. And the third one, you're going to be taking 7 points of bludgeoning damage plus 6 points of acid damage. Now, are you wearing, what kind of armor are you wearing?
It's leather armor.
Leather armor. Okay, you are fine on there. However, any metal that you are wearing, the jewelry, the wire wrap jewelry that you are wearing,
Yep.
instantly just dissolves. You can hear in your ears the sound of multiple bits just beginning to burn away. Your ears feel like they're on fire. If you were wearing metal armor, you would imagine the AC of it would be going down permanently, as these elements are burning away and becoming just puddles of this dissolving, weakened, almost mud. That is, however, all of those attacks of opportunity. Anything else, Minka?
No, because I'm definitely on the ground unconscious.
So, Minka, you're like, I can do this. You take 3 steps forward, and instantly, it's like all of them reach out and just rip elements away from you. And as you fall to the ground, you all see Minka's skin burn, the kind of palish blue or light blue color, almost mottled with red and angry pinks. It's looking pretty rough. But Minka is down. That is Minka's turn. That brings us to Petal. Petal's down. That brings us to Alina. What would you like to do, Alina?
As a reaction, I'm gonna be like, why can't I keep familiars alive?
Pedal on the tracker.
Let's see. I'd like to help Minka, but I don't know if I can right now.
Minka's your healer.
Yeah.
And
have a bard.
Also worth noting, I believe that ends your starry form.
It ends my starry form and the fairy fire.
Yeah. So the starry form drops in the whole area now back to its normal lighting, and the sort of glowing disco slimes become regular gray ooze.
Boring.
All right. I have a realistic idea of whether I can do anything for Minka, so I think that the best thing I can do is just keep killing things. So I'm gonna use my bonus. What?
I said that seems reasonable.
Yeah. I'm gonna move my hex to over here with my bonus action, and then shoot at that one.
You pull it down from that other creature, and as it congeals around, you aim and go ahead and roll your attack.
17.
17 hits.
Nice.
All right.
This one's already looking kind of beat up.
17 points of damage.
17 points of damage. Damn. So as the force hits into this thing, you can see as it latches onto Minka's ankle, the ankle sizzles and Minka falls to the ground. This creature begins to crawl over the leg, and you can see Minka's calf beginning to burn. So you fire at this thing with an eldritch blast that launches the material almost off of Minka's legs. But you watch as this scattering of gray begins to grow back together, and it is not dead yet. Close.
All right.
Anything else, Alina?
No.
All right, that brings us to the ooze's turn. The red ooze all the way in the back is going to continue to move 15 feet closer to the battle. The 3 oozes that are kind of around Minka are now going to surge forward, one towards Ori, the one that is closest to Ori, and then the other 2 are going to head towards Billy.
What about this third one that you can't see that's in the rocks?
It's going to go kind of the other direction around the rock, between like the rock and the ridge. So closest to you. Yeah. And it's going to go towards Ori as well. It's going to come into base contact with Ori, but only after moving both for its action and its movement. However,
is this one going to move its full movement, or is it going to...
Yeah, it'll move up to you as well, yeah. So, Billy, you are taking 1 attack, and then Ori, you are taking 1 attack. So, Billy... That's going to be a 9 to hit.
No.
And then Ori, that is a natural 20. That is going to be 5 points of bludgeoning damage plus 14 points of acid damage.
Holy fuck.
Is your armor metal?
No. I
Okay.
have leather armor.
Is your current weapon metal?
My oil flask?
Oh no, yeah, you have the oil flask. Great, you're not using the sword. Great, fantastic. You are pretty much all set for
me.
that.
Good ones this time.
Now, the 2 other ones, these spiky slimes, the one that moves through the grass and the one that kind of lurks up on the stone, they're going to spit elements of themselves. Let's see, 5, 10, 15. 1 at disadvantage, 1 normal at Billy.
Okay.
Billy at disadvantage. That is going to be, that's a 14 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the one not at disadvantage, that is only an 11 to hit.
Weird. Okay. No.
The one that hits, that is going to be 6 points of bludgeoning damage plus, ooh, lucky, 3 points of acid damage.
That's
Billy, are you wearing any metal armor?
No.
Fantastic. As this sizzles in, you also are wearing jewelry. You have rings, you have earrings, and one of them in particular, you know, roll a D100, please.
83.
Okay. In this moment, as you can hear the sizzling and you feel elements of the metal on your body begin to burn away, almost instinctively, you reach up to that cuff, and it is fine. However, that is those oozes. That brings us to Ori. Ori, you have this flask in hand. The ooze is surging towards you. What do you want to do? Make a line right there.
How much? Let's see, 1, 2. Would I be able to carry Minka with part of my action? It's half my movement speed when I'm carrying someone, right?
So, yeah, when you carry somebody and move, it halves your movement speed.
Right.
Yeah, you could do that.
Because what I'm wondering is, can I eat the 1 attack to disengage and run over, and then use my bonus action to dash to get further away? Because if I just go and try to pick up Minka right now, then we'll just both be dead.
Yeah.
So
Minka runs through a field of jellyfish, falls flat, and you're like, no! You run through the field of jellyfish, fall flat, yeah.
That sounds about the tactical
you know
ability
what?
of our
You know
group.
what I'm gonna do? I have a horse. I'm gonna bonus action disengage, remount my horse,
Okay.
and hiya it to go and try and scoop Minka up.
Okay. Make an animal handling check. This is a free animal handling check, but
Do I get
it
advantage
matters.
because
No.
I named it?
No. Your feelings towards the horse, and this is an important lesson for everybody, your feelings towards somebody else, while nice, do not really influence the feelings of other people.
Consent.
I have also established some bond with this horse.
Would you like to make this roll or no?
After what I did, no.
What was that roll?
That is a natural 1.
Minka, you can make a death failure. Mark that off. As you leap with this horse majestically, the slime grabbing over, and just barely, you just clear the slime. It doesn't touch your horse. And the horse's front hooves slam down into Minka's soon-to-be corpse if you continue in that manner. Minka, you hear like a snap as Minka's rib snaps, but the horse kind of like whinnies a little bit and pulls away. You are on the other side.
Cool, I think that's all I can do.
Very nice.
That was my action to...
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you have done enough.
You look down. I rescued Minka. So that is your turn, Ori. That brings us to the top of the round. Billy, you are up. Minka, you'll be making some saving throws in just a little bit.
Bard.
The consequences of our actions. Billy said. Billy attempts to. They're right next to me.
Right next to you.
Well, okay, Billy's gonna aim for the one that she hexed, and says,
I think I had some toast with some jelly on it. I think it was your brother.
and then cast vicious mockery on them.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
Well, that's cocked. Oh, I'm rolling it into a book. That's even worse. That is going to be a 1.
Okay, it has
Not a natural
disadvantage
one.
on its next attack roll, and it takes 2 psychic damage.
2 psychic damage. Hey, every little bit helps. And wait.
Did it die?
No, not quite.
Oh, wait, and 1 point of necrotic damage.
And still not. This creature, you can see elements like burning into it, biting into it, like little bits and blasts, and it's barely holding on. Right now, before it was this kind of ooze. Now it's just like little strings of like beads, barely holding itself together, but it's still up.
And then Billy's gonna shout over at Minka and just be like, "This is why we don't touch strange things." And then "things" is the healing word.
Very nice.
Hey, that's that is a 4 there.
Nice.
Plus 3 is 7 points of
I like that dice. So, as you are like falling to the ground, Minka, you hit the ground hard and it's wet and you fall. And as your eyes look over, you see this gem-encrusted rock off to your left. You are so close. You kind of grab onto the grass. You get a little closer to it, and then this horse dives up and slams into your chest. And that is the last thing you see. And there's like that slow motion. It's like baby Minka, like little things all happen. And then you're like, this is how I die. And then crunch, you feel your ribs break, and then darkness overtakes you.
Sorry.
You wake up for a moment just to hear that, yeah. Oh boy. But the other side of that is that as you are like falling into this darkness, the last thing that you hear muffled is, "This is why we don't touch strange things." And suddenly everything crashes back to reality. You breathe in, but you hear this whistling sound coming from inside your own throat. Things are broken within you.
Sorry.
You are in rough shape. Ori and the horse directly over top you.
It's like looking up into like a horse butt.
Yeah.
Reach down my hand.
Anything else, Billy?
Sorry.
that is all.
Alrighty, Billy.
He doesn't want to move away.
Phenomenal. That brings us to Minka. Minka, you are on the ground prone. You see Ori's hand reaching down. For some reason, he's apologizing. And what do you want to do?
I shouldn't stand up.
Half of your movement speed gets you up there.
Stay in. I'm gonna
Bonus action chalice myself.
There you go.
This is really Minka's learning 2 very important lessons today. One is not touch things and actually listen for once. The other is never take any other form of chalice.
One time you went archer and you instantly got vaporized. So yeah, maybe not the best thing to be the glowing archer in this battlefield. However, now all of your joints kind of again become points of stars, and this time behind you, additional points light up, and there's almost this like high collar of a chalice behind you. Elements of celestial energy begin to drift out of it like a liquid overflowing, almost like dry ice that kind of floats across the battlefield.
Cure wounds myself.
There you go. So you pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Anything else, Minka?
I have a little bit of movement left.
15 feet because it rounds down.
I'm just gonna.
Right. You're like, oh, it worked before, and you just run right between them again.
I'm just like every direction is just closer to Ooze, so I think I'm just gonna stand here.
You try to like shrink down a little bit, but yeah, no problem. You take 15 feet of movement in one square. That is your turn. That brings us to Alina, then the ooze.
All right. I'm just gonna shake my head at all of this nonsense and Eldritch Blast the ooze that has my hex on it.
Absolutely. So the one that is right next to Billy.
Yep. Dirty 20.
That hits.
That's gonna be 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Very nice. This ooze struck with this Eldritch Blast, and you can see elements spatter like brain matter almost into the grass. The grass sizzles, but this ooze is still up. Anything else?
Nope. Reaction,
right.
shaking my head.
Shaking your head, just firing, shaking your head, firing, laying down cover and fire
Can't
is
wait until
Alina.
I'm higher than level 3.
So the oozes now. That red one is going to move 15 feet closer to Minka. Now the one that's been kind of edging its way up the whole time, so it doesn't have to get disadvantage anymore. That actually, you know what? The one on the rock is going to slide 5 feet down now. And we'll go with the red oozes first. Those are going to attack Minka because she's glowing and right there.
They are
Minka.
10 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
They're the range.
They're firing.
Yeah,
Trying
yeah.
to figure out who should be the healer. You just wanted to use all your other
Does an
cool
18
forms.
hit?
Yep.
Okay, does a 6 hit?
No.
Phenomenal. So you are only taking
I'll try
6
not to
points of
step on
bludgeoning
you this
damage
time with the force.
and 8 points of acid damage.
Fucking acid, man.
Are you up still?
Yes.
Okay,
If I
that's
healed, I healed myself to full.
There you go.
man.
Fantastic.
So I am once again not looking so hot, but I'm still alive.
So, you're filled with healing light, and instantly you begin to get struck by this slime. But that is the two of them. We have, I believe, 4 of these other oozes left. The 2 behind you, Ori, are going to surge forwards and attack your horse. No. The 2 who are closest to you, Alina, Billy, are going to surge forwards to you.
No.
And so first, we'll resolve against this horse, unfortunately, that Ori is bringing right into battle.
I was trying to run it away, but then I stepped on you.
I tried to run away by stepping on it. So one of them rolls a natural 1, and as it like tries to underneath, the horse gets up and just stomps on it for a second, seeming to like whinny away as it does begin to dissolve a little bit. However, the second one is going to hit your horse, and horses do not have a lot of health. So it is going to be taking 7 points of bludgeoning and
Oh no.
11 is its AC. 6 points of acid damage, which is enough, unfortunately, to render your horse dead.
Just straight up dead?
Oh, yeah.
Saving throws?
I don't know if you know this. A war horse in D&D
like
has
12
13 HP
Yeah, I know.
and 11 AC.
And what was the name of this deceased horse?
This horse is struck by the ooze that seems to almost propel itself off the grass. It strikes into the side. The horse neighs, and then you hear this like awful sizzle as it begins to sink into the horse's foot. However, that is those two. The 2 who are on you, Billy.
The one on the right has disadvantage.
Fair enough. So the first one, the one that does not have disadvantage, that is going to be an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
Don't touch.
The one that those are both cocked. The one that does have disadvantage, that is going to be a 6 to hit.
No.
Okay, so the one that does hit, you're taking 2 points of bludgeoning damage and 5 points of acid damage as it into you, kind of grabbing around your leg and trying to pull you to the ground almost.
Billy looks over at them and just hisses as that spell hits and casts Hellish Rebuke. Dexterity saving throw, please.
That is going to be a 5.
And that will be 8 for the fire damage.
8 for the fire damage.
Center just
Okay.
cast Vicious Mockery on you.
So this ooze with the fire, and then you see it. It's like the fire can't quite hold on this creature. It doesn't quite do as much damage as you wish, but that is. I think that's all the ooze. That is going to bring us to Ori. Ori, you turn around, kind of looking as your horse falls to the ground and the ooze kind of sinks into it. You turn, Minka is getting just obliterated by this gray ooze firing at her. What do you want to do?
This is the rock that I die on. With the flask in hand, would you allow me to, take a swig as I'm doing something else?
What is something
which
else?
is lighting up the hooded lantern that I have, opening the two sides adjacent so that then I can hold it and blow fire through
How many hands
lantern.
do you have?
I would say that would be tough to do. I think, why the lantern? Why is this a part
This
of
is the only source of fire that I have.
But is the lantern lit?
That's what I'm saying. I want to use my action to light the lantern while also being like...
Can I ask, why not just skip the lantern entirely and use whatever you're lighting the lantern with and the oil?
Because it's just a tinder box.
It's a flint and tinder, so that's still a spark, and that's...
Oh, I guess
He's throwing you a lifeline.
This isn't a lifeline, this is just kind of logic.
I will do... Well, no, because I was thinking...
If you would like
spray
it
the
to, like,
fire.
for the aesthetics, you want it to be from a lantern, you absolutely can take
Well,
the
no,
time.
because I was thinking,
it's gonna
like,
take you an extra turn.
for consistency...
Yeah.
You'll still
'Cause,
have
like-
to catch the oil, and then the rest of the oil will catch once it catches with the spark.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess I'll... the oil and then light the thing on...
So make it a
oil
so this is a dexterity save, actually. What I will say is, though, roll 20-sided dice, and I'm going to say this is a ranged attack at
streaking down my face.
This is a ranged attack at disadvantage because you are not proficient in spitting fire, in spitting hot fire. What was that?
Did you hit Minka?
I'm going to say, Minka, you might be making a dex save.
Yeah, it's
here.
another natural one.
Minka, as you recover, these things hit you, you are struck. And so you turn, already looking hurt, and as you turn, suddenly, flamethrower directly. And go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. Over,
God, no.
roll 2d6 damage. It wasn't 3d6 like I said last time. It was 2d6.
Not working for you.
It is raining heavily.
Nothing.
Joe.
It's just
It
I'm
is.
cursed tonight. Thank you very much.
One's cocked.
5, okay. So, Minka, you take 5 points of fire damage, and as this flame roars across these other two oozes, you remember that fire seems to not be quite as effective as you would want it to be, and so that's 2 points of fire damage to these oozes. So that is, in total, I believe 5 points to Minka and 4 to the oozes combined.
Hit them with a stick.
Anything else, Ori?
I've done enough.
Actually, interestingly, 2 points of damage. The one that is between Billy and Alina in the middle only needed 2 points of damage to kill. And so, though this fire... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You know what? It's the two red ones over there. Sorry.
Yeah.
No. That is very little damage happening.
Well, now
over
we know.
there. So,
Secrets.
No meta game.
the fire races across those two individuals and Minka. But anything else, Ori?
Yeah, I'm gonna,
For action, apologize?
yeah, free action apologize, and then I guess
This group does a lot of that.
bonus action hide.
Okay.
We are the one.
Make a stealth check.
I'm gonna move. I can't go through this crevice.
No, that would require a check of some sort.
Yeah.
And at this point, you can't do that.
All right,
The crevasse.
I'm going to hide in the sense that I'm not actually moving anywhere, but I'm sort of shrinking into myself.
Skyrim stealth.
So
in
you're
the-
hiding your shape.
Yes.
Okay, make a stealth check. That is going to bring us finally, after a very long turn from Ori, to Billy, top of the round. Minka, you're on deck. Okay. You gasp in exasperation.
Sorry.
Billy looks over and it's just like, okay, that wasn't your fault. Fault is the word. It's not a very very good word, though, so you get 4 points of healing.
And so fire rolls across you, and then you hear fault and ting, a little bit of healing right across your cheek.
Yeah, that's all Billy can do for
Alrighty.
till long rest comes in.
There you go. Billy uses...
And then looks down at the little green ooze next to her, and it's just like, oh, thank you. And a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage, please.
Oh, disadvantage.
Cause hex.
Yeah, that is going to be a natural 1 for 0.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, -1.
Damn.
Yeah. Something about these oozes not super wise.
So that's 2 points of psychic damage and 5 points of
Fucking
necrotic
us up,
damage.
'cause we are
And that is
also
on which
not
one?
super
Sorry.
wise.
The one I hexed, it's your right.
There you go. So if it's the one on my right, just like before, very little health, and this one into just its constituent parts, and you watch as the gray elements dissolve into the grass and then seem to almost break apart and become like oil and water.
Which one is that? This one?
Yeah, that one's gone.
Only 5 more
I
to go.
actually have to take back the 5 because I just realized I haven't been rolling constitution checks for my concentration spells.
Concentration's important, yeah.
And it failed.
Okay.
Because I never had to as Akka.
Stick him right back on there. He flattens into the grass and then right back up, almost like a Matrix move.
Psych!
What's up?
You thought I was dead.
You thought. All right. So, anything else, Billy?
No.
All righty. That is Billy's turn. Minka, you are up.
Sorry. Really, I'm really sorry.
The last elements of flame die off of your clothing. What are you doing?
I'm gonna move behind the far big rock.
Okay.
So it's 5. Yeah, I can. No.
Oh, this
That
one?
close to you.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far from
So-
us.
Boop. 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 Boop.
I have 30.
You have 35,
I have
right?
35,
You
yeah.
want to go back here?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
And I'm just gonna heal myself again.
So hiding is a strong term because again, you are shedding 30 feet of bright light. So it's hard to hide.
Yes, I'm not necessarily trying to hide. It's more I'm just trying to
Yeah.
put more physical objects in between me and the ooze for just enough time to not just collapse on the floor again.
There you go. So you catch your breath over behind that rock.
And then,
Now I am in a sticky situation.
It's not looking good for you, Ori.
I am hidden.
You are 20 hidden. We'll see how well
have
that holds up.
anything I could do with my bonus actions.
Okay, that's
So I'm gonna just bonus action.
Eleanor trying to hide when she was on the...
Pretty much. Bonus action, give myself a pep talk.
it. Okay, no problem.
It's what
You talk yourself up as best you can. That is your turn, Minka. That brings us to Alina.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna come over
Slap it.
here.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just to kind of try to put myself in front of poor Minka.
Yeah, you see Minka just getting hit again and again,
Yeah.
set on fire, crushed by a horse. Minka's having a bad day.
And then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the hexed one and hope
Okay.
it
As
bad
actually
as the
dies
horse.
this time.
True. Also true.
22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
13 points of damage.
Which one is that?
This one here.
That one right there. 13 points of damage is enough. Billy, you standing there suddenly as this one begins to surge forwards, the Eldritch Blast explodes it from behind and it just around you opens up and you feel as it passes by just inches from your face, but just completely misses you, painting almost like a Billy-shaped empty space. But fantastic. That one is dead.
And then I'll use my bonus action to move my hex to, I guess, this guy
There you
here. And then as a free action, I'm going to be like, Minka, hang in there. Just don't do anything.
Billy turns back and says that, holds out their hand, or sorry, not Billy, Alina, and then just annihilates one of these oozes. But that is your turn, Alina. That brings us to the oozes themselves.
What's the checks that it has disadvantage on?
So it's supposed to just be ability checks.
Oh.
Okay.
Which I was gonna bring it up after because I didn't
Please
want to
keep me honest.
Yeah. So I usually don't bother because like what ability checks are these oozes making? But
Fair
let's
enough.
say I don't know. Dexterity.
Okay, dexterity, fair enough. So dexterity ability checks.
Heard.
So these two red colored oozes, they are going to both take shots. I'm going to say at you, Ori. In fact, Ori, the two green oozes are going to move into base contact with you. And so you're going to be taking a total of 4 attacks.
I'm down. I might be dead actually.
So the first, well, they're not going to keep attacking you if you're down. But
Okay, I'm down.
so first one's a natural 20.
Yeah, I'm down. So you don't even have to roll damage. I'm at 5. So
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah. So that's going to be, yeah, even just the bludgeoning damage is, well, actually, what's your max health?
24.
Okay, so hang on.
That's what I might actually just be straight up dead.
So bludgeoning damage is 12, 13 for bludgeoning, and then the acid. Okay, I rolled a 1, so that's 2, so that's a total of 15 plus 1 more d6, which is 2 doubled to 4. So that is a total of 18 points. So no, you are not straight up dead. You got 6 points of damage away
Oh my
from
God.
dying at level 3. Amazing. Session 5. That would be a new record for you.
Gunter's waiting
I was
on the way.
ready. I was ready to just go grab my fucking mini from over there and be like, ah!
So, in this moment, as the first of these slimes rushes towards you, it jumps from the corpse of the horse into your chest and just kind of drags you down to the ground. You go unconscious. Your armor begins to sizzle and burn.
Leather.
However, it's on you now. It's kind of just like passively.
So
eating
did
you.
these also surround me, or is it just
No,
these
so
two?
just those two.
Okay.
However, the other one's going to make 5 more feet of movement towards Billy. No, not yeah, that one. Yeah. But it can't get any closer, so it is going to sit right there. Billy, you are taking 1 attack.
Okay.
That is only going to be a 10, which I
Thank
believe
God.
misses. And then the 2 that have projectiles, they are going to be firing at you, Alina. So the first one, that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yes.
Oop, that's off the table. And a 21 to hit.
Yep.
Nice. So that is going to be, the first one is going to be 6 points of bludgeoning damage plus, 11 points of acid damage. Second one is going to be 7 points of bludgeoning damage plus 7 points of acid damage. So these gray
17
bits of slime.
Plus 14 more. You said 6, 11, 7, and 7.
Oh man, you're killing me. I have synesthesia, so when you do that really overwhelms me.
6,
Sorry.
11, 7, and 7.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm down or not.
Oh man.
6 plus 11 is 17, plus 14 is...
Yes.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
Down.
So all of a sudden, as Ori goes down, Billy, you are able to almost like dodge out of the way, and then you turn and you see Alina, same thing, a hail of gray slime that begins to eat and dissolve away at the metal and any elements that are really on Alina.
If we have a TPK because you wanted to get a shiny
Yeah, I know.
That is
Remember when
TPK
Mika kills your
the
whole
entire
party?
world.
Ooh, shiny rock.
That is, however, the oozes. That brings us to Ori. Ori, make a death saving throw, please.
You know, this has already rolled 2 natural 1s tonight, so I feel like I gotta stick with it. Can't possibly roll a 3rd.
Are we gonna TPK on my birthday?
Does meets it, beats it apply to death?
What did you roll?
I got 10.
No. How do you not know this? We've been playing D&D for almost 5 years.
I don't die that often.
You do a lot. Literally, statistically more than anybody else.
Usually it's not with death
That is one
saving throws.
failure.
Usually
That is Ori's turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Billy, go ahead. What would you like to do? You see Alina down. You see Ori down. see Minka hiding.
I'm fine.
Says Minka, glowing from behind
Also,
the
the
boulder.
horse is down.
The horse is dead.
Ah!
Down
Well,
together.
Billy's gonna look at the one behind the one that Alina hexed.
Okay.
Because mockery doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. And apparently they're wise.
Oh yeah, I guess the hex.
They're not.
is
Yeah.
gone now.
I'd like to point out there is another horse.
So? I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast the one that's the green ooze that's on its way, that's further away.
Okay.
Running away seems like a pretty
Damn it.
appealing option to
It's a
me.
10!
A 10 hits.
Oh!
Nice.
Thank God!
I don't know how you guys haven't done more damage to these things. Truthfully.
10!
Tried to
Force
spit on him
damage!
with
10 to which one?
This guy!
All the way. That one?
This one.
Okay. All right. It hits it, and you see gray spatter across this rock behind you, but it is still up. Each one of these oozes that are not the red ones, all barely hanging on. You have done a great job of dividing all of your damage, this party. Each one all barely hanging on.
I just thought it was gonna hit harder.
And then...
Gonna hit harder.
Hold please.
Anything else, Billy?
Yes.
Fucking oozes.
I have my backup ready to go.
Billy's gonna Hexblade's Curse the one directly in front of her.
Okay, phenomenal.
Which is not technically
really
Hex,
upset.
but it's Hexblade's Curse.
No problem. The hexes close around. That is your turn, Billy. That brings us to you, Minka. So Alina
Ow.
turns around and it's just like, I'm going to protect you, turns and just is blasted in the face by this acidic ooze. What would you like to do?
You have all those good berries in your pocket.
It's you, Billy, and the horse.
Chestnut.
Chestnut.
So Minka's gonna take a step forward, so she's right next to Alina.
Okay.
And she's gonna yell at Ori. Ori, you can't die next to a dead horse.
Don't tell me what to do.
She's gonna healing word.
Okay.
Ori.
Phenomenal.
Use the aura to heal Alina.
Okay, phenomenal.
So that's gonna be fucking 6 for Ori.
Minka, glowing with the celestial energy, walks into the clearing and goes, "How dare you make me clean up my own mess?" And brings Alina and Ori, just drags them by the ear back to consciousness.
12 for Alina.
Damn, okay.
And then I don't have anything else I can really do at close range except for guidance. So I'm gonna guidance Alina.
So, Alina, you look up, like in the rain, as it comes down around you, the acid stinging at your eyes, and as you can see just barely through that pain, this like glowing celestial Minka, the hair floating around, almost defying gravity, and she reaches down and just touches your cheek, and there's a ting as she casts guidance.
And like you can't tell, her face is very wet, but her face is also kind of purple. So you're like, it's like one of those moments of like, is it just rain? Is she crying? Is it both? It's probably both.
Anything else?
Never know. Minka's gonna go back behind the rock.
So 10 feet out, your hermit crab strategy. You just back into the shell. That is your turn, Minka. That brings us to Alina. Alina, you are on the ground.
What can you use guidance on again? What kind of checks?
Ability check.
Ability checks.
Okay. I stand up.
It's counter hex. Yeah, you stand up.
It's not really all that helpful. Because I have that or druid craft of pleasant smell.
Fucking hell. All right. I'm gonna.
Might be pleasant.
I'm just gonna be like. I'm just gonna step back here.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's why I have a rock.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast this one that has Billy's hex on it.
Okay, so you watch as the shadows creep around this creature, and so you use it as your mark. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
It's a big goddamn rock!
9.
Meets a pizza. That hits.
Oh,
Nine is the AC.
This is usually a bad thing.
No,
but
no,
this is
no.
good.
That's a good thing.
Okay.
That's why I'm so blown away that these things are still alive.
14 damage.
14 damage.
We're not that
So you watch as this one, the shadows congeal around it, and you blast it, and it's like the shadows yank it up off the ground, and you just annihilate it. It shotgun blasts into the air. It hits the stone that, and luckily Chestnut protected by that boulder.
Thank God. If I lost both of my horses right now, I would lose.
That one is down. Anything else, Alina?
No.
Okay. That brings us to the oozes. So these two red ones, looking at the battlefield, I guess Billy. Oh no, wait, Ori is right there. Ori. No, you know what? You're still on the ground though. You technically are standing up till your turn.
Oh yeah.
So they are going to be slinging these shots over.
I'm just laying on the ground slightly better, but still
Billy.
feeling bad.
Does an 11 hit?
No.
God, this dice. Oh, and then a 5 is not going to hit either. So
No, it's not.
luckily,
Yay. Thank God.
finally, now you're like zoned in. There's nobody standing between you. There's no burst of fire. You can see what's coming at you. And though these are gray projectiles, you're able to dodge out of the way. There are 2 more oozes. They're going to close distance with you, Billy. Only one is going to be able to attack you.
The other one moved 15. Oh, it's diagonal.
Diagonal.
That's right.
Yeah. But that's only going to be an 8 to hit. And so, complete miss. You are dodging. You are holding the line against these oozes. That is their turn. That brings us to Ori. Ori, make a... or no, sorry, you're back up.
Make a standing up
Make a standing
saving.
up. Half your movement. What are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna go over here and
You better
Time
not
for
spit
bonking?
fire on me.
just try to kick it, I guess. I don't have any weapons out.
Make an unarmed attack roll. Yeah, I love it.
At advantage because I'm flanking?
Nope.
I'm flanking though.
Are you proficient in unarmed strikes? Are you a tavern brawler feature?
Oh no, I'm not.
Oh, rough. This is not.
It's rough.
That was the original character concept. Right?
Yeah, but I didn't have the level 3. I didn't have enough ability to do that.
Sorry,
None of us are human.
Yeah, that's gonna be probably. Oh, actually, it might be a hit because that's still pretty.
You know the AC. It's
No,
9.
it's no. That's
Okay.
there's an 8.
So you prop yourself up and walking over, you kick the slime. Little bit of it like spatters out into the grass and then back into the body.
See, this is why I didn't try to attack it before.
Anything else, Ori?
Bonus action. Disengage. And I'm gonna go over to protect Chestnut.
Okay. You see Chestnut looks distraught over their fallen comrade.
This is Billy.
That is Ori's turn. Brings us to the top of the round. And Billy, free action. You flip Ori off. What else would you like to do?
Billy's just gonna look down at the ooze and spit on it for vicious mockery.
Sure. You spit. That is at disadvantage, a wisdom save?
No,
No,
it's
right.
flat.
That is only going to be a 3. So
Good. It takes 1 point of psychic damage and it lives to fight another day, but it has its disadvantage on its next roll.
as you strike it with that 1 point of damage, it is trembling. It is like a vibrating string that is just barely held together. It's like when you cut into pancakes and you pull that slice away, it's a tiny little string of syrup. It is barely holding on. However, it is still up. Oh,
Very specific.
I had chicken and waffles yesterday, so I had syrup.
Can I... So it doesn't say with melee attacks. It says you gain a bonus to damage rolls against the cursed target. The bonus equals your proficiency bonus.
Is this for...
Escalates curse.
that is specifically, I believe, with your packed weapon.
Cool.
So, no problem. Still up. Anything else, Billy? No. Alrighty, Minka. From behind your rock, you sense it's time to emerge again. What would you like to do?
So Minka is in fact going to emerge again, and she's gonna look at one of the stupid spiky boys and just guiding bolt it.
Yeah, there you go. So all of a sudden, the celestial energy gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and the point of energy that is your hand suddenly erupts outward. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 absolutely
Who knew
hits.
that oozes were my utter and complete
So that
bane?
is 46. Jesus Christ.
I guess Joe did.
12 points
don't
of
check
radiant damage.
Okay. So this spiky boy, as you called it, as you kind of like lean out, it is spiky and moving in these ways. And as it rears back to fire again at Billy, who is at this moment like kicking away at this other ooze, you are able to hit it dead on in the center of mass with this glowing bolt, and it explodes. And in this brief second, it looks like 1,000 points of stars before it just falls into inert pieces in the grass behind. That one, yeah.
And then I'm gonna run up to the one that's harassing Billy
Okay.
and like just be like, stop it, and just slap into shocking grasp.
Okay. Yeah. Make a melee spell attack. Or no, wait, that's a saving throw, isn't it?
No, it's a spell. It's attack. Yeah.
And then it makes a saving throw if you hit. Is that what it is?
Shocking grasp.
So-
Spell that
Would you just
famously
reduce
is used
the-
for getting away
So-
from people.
No, it's just a melee spell attack that is lightning, and then if they're wearing armor,
Right,
of metal,
okay.
that's like
There
then
we
they
go.
gets bonus. But otherwise, it's just I just slap them, and I just definitely doesn't work.
It's like a slap with a
What was it?
taser.
An 8.
An 8 just misses, unfortunately. And as you reach out, it's like this bright, glowing creature, not able to sneak up on the slime even. It like out of your grasp.
Billy's very hurt. There's like just raw red skin where there should be like kind of livid purple.
Thing is trying.
That is Minka's turn. That brings us to Alina. Alina, you can see Billy is struggling. What do you want to do?
Help!
Trying.
Wait, how close do you have to be for the aura to work?
I have to cast a spell that heals.
Never mind.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the one that they've been working on.
There you go. Make your attack roll. They're both looking pretty rough. One of them is almost non-existent at this moment.
All right. It's a lot. It's more than 9.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's gonna be 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage, that's all you need. That slime is just erupted and just paints the grass in front of it, which dies almost instantly as it's touched. But it is dead. Anything else, Alina?
I'm gonna free action and be like, Billy, just step away from the ooze.
And as you
okay.
use that free action, you're like, it's just okay, you can step away. It is the ooze's turn, and so that ooze surges forwards towards you, Billy.
Disadvantage on its attack roll.
Fair enough. That is going to be a 10 to hit.
No!
All right. And so you dodge away, and you're like, I can step away. And you say that just in time as you turn, and you can see the other slime firing a projectile at Minka. Minka, that is going to be a natural 20 to hit, my third one. That is going to be 7 points of bludgeoning damage,
I feel like the
Plus-
dice want a TPK tonight.
10 points of acid damage. As this right into your
Finally become
face.
sentient. They're trying to punish us.
That is the ooze's turn. Oh, wait, I think I have one more. 1, 2.
1, 2.
Yeah, that's all I got. Okay.
Yeah.
That brings us to Ori. Ori.
So remember when I did real well yesterday? I'm so sorry.
To pull out a weapon is a bonus action, correct? Okay. I guess I'm gonna try to shoot it with my bow. 'cause
Okay. So you yank out the bow. You're like, Chestnut, it's going to be okay. Go ahead
I'm
and
gonna
as
go
your
for this one.
make your attack roll. Barely hurt. This is the least hurt. The only one that's not hurt.
Oh,
Wow, that was terrible.
what happened over there?
Bad. That's gonna be An 8.
You guys are killing me and yourselves.
And ourselves.
So
You're killing us.
this arrow, you pull it out, and as you go to aim, you fire, and like your vision's kind of clouded. You're barely holding on, and so
It's raining really heavily. It's not because I'm crying.
as you shoot the arrow, it hits the stone directly in front of you and just up and into the sky. You cry a little harder, but that is your turn, Ori. That is your turn, Ori. Billy, you are up. This slime barely hanging on at your feet. There's another one that's just over top this corpse of a horse. What would you like to do?
Closest we've come to a TPK since
It's the last time we came.
kind scale.
What are you doing,
It's the
Billy?
danger of level 3.
Ellie knows that she can step away. She just doesn't want to.
Then stop saying help. That was me helping you.
Says, just fucking die. And wisdom saving throw, please.
Is that no? Just normal.
Just flat.
9.
9 is still not gonna do it. 1.
Oh my god.
Wah, 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 wah. Kind of just moves a little bit.
I thought there was 1 hit point left.
No, that was the one that Alina killed.
Damn it.
This one also barely hanging on, but it has more than 1 hit point.
We might need a TPK.
Are you gonna unarmed strike it?
Start fresh.
No, I can't.
Oh right, yeah,
My
yeah.
action.
Okay, anything else,
glad
Billy?
maybe else is around to see.
Okay.
Say fuck it.
No problem. So it strikes out as you back away. That is only going to be a 9 to hit, and so you're able to pull. No
Was that
problem.
with disadvantage?
No, but still a 9. You dash out of the way, no problem. That is your turn, Billy?
Yes.
All right, Minka. You are glowing in this field, this acid burning into your face. What do you want to do?
Okay. Minka is at the point where she's just like, you know what? If these things are dead, they'll stop killing everyone. Just gonna guiding bolt the far one.
There you go.
There you go.
Make an attack roll against this ooze. You can see it is just starting to dissolve the legs of this horse.
No.
Is it an 8?
No, it's exactly a 9.
Hey, beats it, beats it. That's all you need.
I just needed to double check it was actually a +6 to
You guys
attack.
have
and
rolled
it,
more 8s tonight than I can remember.
I
ever
have rolled
before.
most, like 85% of my rolls have been sub 10. It's been
All right, roll damage on that guiding bolt.
stupid fucking.
I love ooze. I need to remember this.
Oh my
I
god,
love
this
ooze.
is fucking terrible, terrible damage.
You're so good.
It is 11.
11. Okay. Still up is this ooze. Although as this blast hits it, now from within, it seems to almost be sparkling and glowing. It is like somebody took putty and just rolled it in glitter. Anything else, Minka?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to move myself as close as I can get in between these two.
These two?
Yeah.
Okay. You tuck yourself between Billy and Chestnut. That is your
wait a
turn,
minute,
Minka. That is going to bring us to Alina.
Fucking hell. All right. Which was the one that she just guiding?
The
The one that's glowing over the horse.
this
Yeah,
one,
that one.
but then this is the one that seems to
Barely
be
holding on, yeah.
Fucking hell. All right. I'm going to shoot this one.
There you go. So you watch it begins to surge towards Minka, who has just tucked herself in behind this rock.
Higher than 9.
There you go. Make your damage roll.
14 points of damage.
Nice. It's like
Okay.
7 times more than all the damage that I've done this whole
2
time.
points more than you needed. You wipe this thing off the face of the earth, and it just barely was kind of hanging on already. This just gets annihilated into just vapor. The rain seems to pull it back down into the grass, but it is dead. Anything else, Alina?
Nope.
Alrighty, that brings us to the only remaining ooze. It's going to move 5 feet forward, and it really just inhabits the cavity of this horse's chest. The gray kind of element just rises from the chest cavity and spits out at you, Ori. Ori, that is going to be only
insult
a
to
12 to hit.
That does not hit.
There you go. So you duck behind the rock. Chestnut is like, good job, but in horse. That is the ooze's turn. Ori, what do you want to do? You dodge that ooze. You turn back.
It's raining heavily today.
You wipe a few tears. Rain away. Make your attack
Steady
roll.
aim.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna attack it. Oh, it has advantage already because of no. Well,
No, it
extra
doesn't.
advantage.
It's on the next hit that hit it because Alina hit it.
Oh, because Alina hit it. Okay, so I
No.
steady aim.
No, I hit the other one.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Either
Okay.
way.
Math.
Haven't you heard us enough, Joe?
That finally hits with a 15.
A 15.
A whole 15.
Go ahead and roll damage.
15.
Finally, as you wipe the tears from your eyes, Ori, you have like the first chance to actually lean against a rock and aim. You unleash this arrow and it flies true.
For min damage,
Which is
5 points of piercing damage.
as you're about to hit this slime, it ducks in a way that seems to trigger some element within the horse. The neck spasms and the head pulls up, and you just spear through the head into the actual slime. The thing falls down. The slime begins to ooze out of like the holes of your arrow, but no problem. Anything else, Ori?
Bonus action. Hide behind the rock.
Yeah, you just named that horse too. Billy, what
No,
would you
not the
like to
rock.
do?
Blast!
Make your attack roll.
Least.
Fuck!
So
Dallas,
you
you
watch
don't need to woe me tonight.
the horse twitches again, the head already speared through by Ori's arrow, and this time from the neck down, there is just a smoking husk as the head is severed and just into the rain. But gross. Anything else, Billy?
Bonus action shame.
Okay, that's a free action. Minka, what would you like to do? You watch as your party brutalizes the corpse of a horse.
My poor boy.
So I'm out of range to
So what are you doing?
I'm just gonna.
Should have named it
So
Roach.
I'm gonna look to my left into the right and see Billy and Ori both bloodied. I'm bloodied. I'm
Sad.
gonna reach out and grab Billy's hand and cast Cure Wounds at a 2nd level.
Okay, very nice. And so that does trigger the chalice.
Yes, which means that Ori is gonna get the other half of it.
don't
So let
want
me
it.
just.
Oh, you have
Let me
healing.
die.
I feel my pain.
So I'm gonna do some rolls.
Yeah, no problem.
And
Let me
then
die.
I can't really do anything else.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna hold
Alina.
Billy's hand.
You are up, you turn, you see Minka grab onto Billy's hand. What would you like to do?
Hex the last ooze. Hex it,
There
and
you
then
go.
Eldritch Blast it.
The shadows close around it. Make your attack roll.
I will.
And then 8.
Nice.
9.
Oh my
Just
God.
barely you hit it. Roll damage. Roll better.
Wow.
Please, God, roll better.
Oh my God.
Good lord, that's
Wow.
min damage
Oh my
for
God.
8 points of damage.
I said enough.
So close. So close to killing this
End our
creature. And you
suffering.
can see, like, you throw away part of it. And then just this trickle of gray mass is now, like, writhing out of the corpse of the horse. The horse's legs are kicking in this, like, death movements. But that is your turn, Alina. That does bring us to this ooze that rears back and is going to fire at you, Alina. This is at disadvantage as it is now a little bit out of its minimum range. That is going to be a natural 1. And so it just off and into the darkness. That brings us to Ori. Ori, what do you want to do?
Poke my head out. Steady aim.
Make your attack roll.
Sorry for this premium content tonight, guys. Just watch us get kicked while we're
I
down.
mean, Talon's having a great time.
It was a 3
Okay.
and a natural 20.
Roll damage on the natural 20.
Revenge.
It only took nearly getting TPK'd to get one thing. Alright, what is it? 1d6 for double 8 damage.
8 damage. Tell us how it happens, Ori. Finally, at long last, you killed my oozes.
Wiping
Jeez.
away the tears and rain.
This arrow uneventfully flies through the gray rain. It misses the elements of this horse's corpse.
I'm so sorry.
And it strikes the ooze, and the ooze just shudders and then falls apart into its constituent pieces. In this moment, the rain falls down. And you
raining
are
so
all
heavily.
out of initiative.
Alina looks at the group and says, "No one can ever know about this."
Minka just bursts into tears, like full on, ugly crying, face and neck entirely purple, just sobbing.
And as Minka cries, too, you can see like the celestial energy. With each tear that falls down, they are like glowing tears that each pull elements of the chalice away until it's just Minka crying, Ori crying, the horse is dead.
Okay.
He's just like kind of red in the face, angry and upset, and then I feel like from off in the distance we just hear Cheshire like
The baby crying. Like, God damn it, Cheshire.
As the rain continues to fall down, and you all catch your breath from this battle because it is 10:20. This is where we're going to end for this evening. I thought this was going to be a bump in the road for you guys. This was...
It should have taken like 20
fucking
minutes.
mountain.
Did I tell you guys?
In the middle
These
of
guys have AC 9, HP 34. They are not strong creatures. They have...
We are not strong.
The only thing that they have that's kind of brutal is their acid. It's 2d6, flat 2d6, and they critted 3 times.
Yeah, they
and so
fucked-
that was kind of brutal.
Yeah, I got down from full health.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
2 natural ones too.
Thank you for hanging out with us for this session of Adventures in Albron Courts of
Sorry.
Everest. Sorry that you guys almost died to oozes, great oozes. However, after the experiences of traveling through the Heliodor Wood, semi-successfully completing roughly 1 long rest between the 3 that you took, and as a group have now survived several encounters, you would imagine the next time that you long rest, you will level up.
Thank God.
So thank you for hanging out with us for this session of Courts of Everest. We will be back next week on Friday, but if you can't wait until then, this Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Roll for Initiative, I think Roll for Combat's YouTube channel, there is Third Party Con, and we are going to have the very final stream of the entire convention. This is going to be a Starfinder one-shot called The Diner and the Drift. It is going to have me running a one-shot with Matt, Olive, Ari, Matt,
not there.
Ari,
Ari,
Dan, and Kara. It is a very special one-shot. We really hope you tune in and support all the third-party content creators. We're not third-party content creators. I don't know how we got involved in this, really, but we're there.
We love Starfinder.
We love
Excuse to
Starfinder.
play more
Yeah,
Starfinder.
exactly. But please stay safe. It is crazy out there. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.